Blessed love, my Lord and Empress, give thanks and praise for life, health, and strength. Give thanks for the mighty life giver, Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Give thanks for all those here with us at this moment in the, international study group, watching at home, and those with us in the Zoom meeting. This is the Bobo Shanti International Study Group, the African Liberation Network. I'm the host, Prophet Daniel. And at this time, call for reverence internationally as we turn it over to Honorable Leading Priest to say a prayer.
Most High, Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, I, Jah, Rasta.
All right.
The Lord gave the word, great word here that published it. I, and I,
Selassie,
Jah,
Rastafari.
Yes. Yes, oh Father, we give thanks for another day of, communing together, shedding a little light, on our life and our liberty. We ask thee to guide us skillfully, give us the wise mind, the knowledge, the understanding that we can, see the future, see the pathway onto the future. And all this through thy mercy and through thy love. Most High, Holy Emmanuel, I, Selassie, Rastafari, bless us, my Lord, Empress.
Give thanks, my Lord. So yes, family, give thanks for everyone's presence again. Give thanks for, the Honorable Empress Maisie is going to sing us a chorus to open the program. So give thanks for the presence, same way.
Yes, my Lord.
Yes, the floor is yours.
All right, give thanks, beloved. Thanks for life, health, and strength. Mighty life giver, Jehovah, Jah, Rastafari. So I'll sing this little chorus. Come in, my little ones, come in. Come in, my little ones, come in. Come in, my little one. Come in, my little one. Come in, oh, Safari. For I say, come in, my little ones, come in. Come in, my little ones, come in. Come in, my little ones, come in, my little one. Come into the house of right. For I say, come in, my little ones, come in. Come in, my little ones, come in. Come in, my little one. Come in, my little ones. Come into the house of Farai. Jehovah, Jah. Rastafari. My Lord and Empress, blessed Lord.
Yes, Honorable, glorify, give thanks for the lovely singing, So yes, beloved royal family, today's topic for the International Study Group is the Sabbath. Yes, and we will, go into a lot of different aspects of the Sabbath. We'll explain, the historical connection of keeping the Sabbath, as an African tradition, even predating, European missionaries and Bible and these things. And we'll go into, the principles of the EABIC, our Sabbath keeping principles, the historical connection of Rastafari, keeping the Sabbath, and, Africans in the West in general, keeping the Sabbath. And, a lot of different things, whatever comes, to our remembrance, we'll share. And we hope to be enlightened, and we hope to, sharpen each other through, reasoning with love and, you know, gaining understanding to build ourselves, you know. So at this time, you know, I'll open up the floor, you know, and introduce the topic, you know, the Sabbath, the seventh day, you know, and God created the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh and hallowed it. And, you know, gave us the, you know, the commandment, which actually said, remember the Sabbath to keep it holy, you know, as everything else was thou shalt, you know, thou shalt not. But when it comes to the Sabbath, it said, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Yeah. And so um, I'll give it over to one of the elders and let, you know, we have Priest Headley and Honorable Priest Dougie. So, you know, between the two of the item, you could kind of give some reasoning as far as what the Sabbath is, and we'll just go from there. And, you know, little by little, we'll unpack the whole topic. My Lord and Empress, give thanks.
My brother, Priest Dudley, floor is yours, my brother.
Priest Headley, you there, my Lord? Well,
What technical difficulties?
maybe, yeah.
Blessed my Lord.
Oh, my Lord, bless the Lord.
You're the
Oh,
angel
this
voice.
Priest Stewart from the office.
My Lord, bless the love, honorable.
I am Priest Eddie here in the office. No?
I'll give thanks.
And just to let everyone know that I am listening.
Yes, my Lord. Give thanks to the priest and the priests, you know.
Yeah, and want everyone to know that the man office is now open every day from 6 in the morning till 6 in the evening, except Sabbath.
Thank you, my Lord.
And Friday, yeah, Friday 12 o'clock, half day.
Yes, my Lord. Give thanks.
And I
Good
don't know
sound.
if say that again.
That's a good song. Good. That's an encouraging song.
That's where I was sent, my Lord, and sure me can't comfortable nowhere else. Might as well me just come do it.
Aye.
So
Yes, my Lord, give thanks just to him.
and so who was that who said that's a good sound?
Priest Dougie, my Lord.
Oh, blessed, my Lord.
Yes.
Yeah. You mean it from Florida?
Yeah, but they're on the land right now.
Oh, okay. All right, blessed Lord.
Yes, I. So, Priest Dougie, you mind, you know, kind of give us some introductory reasoning on the topic, my Lord?
Yes, my Lord. Yeah, the sabbatical order. You know, the man said it was originated from the creation story. You know, the man said he created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. And so him hallowed that day. Well, our Father, you know, the right hand of the King Emmanuel, that came and, you know, revived back, you know, that concept within I and I. You know, just revive forward that concept within I and I. You know, when him come establish forward, you know, the sabbatical order, 1958, when him rise the Congress. Now, the sabbatical order has to do with a priesthood order. You know, the Bobo Shanti priest, I and I, the priest of Melchizedek, you know, that the man trained in such order to minister. So the priest would be the ministering angel or angels on the sabbatical day. See, that means the 7 golden candlesticks, you know, take the man altar to minister his word of truth and justice to the world of people. That is the culture that we were taught. That is the order that was set by our Father. Now we can take the conversation from there into the historical level. You know, how did the whole 7 day, because we have to rationalize the concept of the 7 day. When did the world embrace 7 days as the standard week and 4 weeks as the standard month? By establishing that we will have like a marker, a time marker that establishes when most of creation acknowledge, the sabbatical day. Because there had to be some way of accounting for the days, so you could know which day was the 7th day versus which was the 4th day or the 2nd day. See? So when we establish that through the historical timeline, we will see now when the world started to embrace the 7-day concept coming out of the creation story. And there it evolved, we had calendars, and those calendars became our guidelines now, the weeks and the months, would progress. Yeah, give thanks, my lord.
Yes, Majesty. Give thanks, Honorable.
Stick up in, please.
Yes, I.
Before, we just want to give the Congress, the office number to everyone, please.
Yes, my lord, go through.
876 556 6720.
Give thanks, my lord.
All right, and me give thanks for this subject, and especially this Sabbath day. Some people seem to pretend like say, King Emmanuel make up the 7 days, the Sabbath day to keep holy, and we are follow King Emmanuel. But as a student of history and a student of geography and a high school, me have 5 subject DCE. I am an Excelsior graduate, by the way. You see, because I was one of them who used to lay at his feet, on his foot, and take dictation, because he was like a headmaster in a school, and take dictation from him. Time and time again, I would write, say, him tell me, say, him a trad from Timber 1 to Timber 2. I know say he was saying Timbuktu, but to him talk ancient, him say Timber. So him that say him a trad from Timber 1 to Timber 2. All right? Recently, when I was in Philadelphia, because it been about me decide say, me have to research this thing here, and me have to find Timber 1. I started and I researched until I found it. There were 5 instances of this kingdom before Kemet. How Kemet came about is when they took us out, the old time salvation order out of it, when the Persian came down and brown it up and eased out the priests them out of it and left only the tangible of this university. All right? But there were 5 instances of it before Kemet, and the place was, I want everyone to research it. The place was Tarseti, T-A-S-E-T-I, Tarseti. The name of the university was Pierre Ankh University. It is pronounced Pierre, but it's spelled P-E-R. I know how Ankh spelled. All right? Pierre Ankh University. And I decided, well, I have to find this thing. I'd been about me from I tell myself we had tried from Timber 1 to Timber 2. So when I found it, I know it was it. It was there were priests that governed these 5 instances of before Kemet. There were priests, and they said that they were not only priests, but they were scholars and they were warriors. So I said they know about them that. So I'm going further into it, and the glue that held everything together and everything emanated out of was the old time salvation, the same Naya being death to the wicked. Then I say, okay, yes, that I talk about. Well, this is the 7th day, my Lord and Empress. This is that 7th day where I'm gonna try to like how we make it up or a white people make it up. Because them start the history from Kemet. Them take out the Sabbath out of it. Them take out all of them things. The priesthood order, the 5 instances of this started at Tarseti. The 5 instances of this Congress, this Bobo kingdom, where everybody refused to light them know. As a matter of fact, if anyone know of these brethren, where we do hidden colors, then there are set of brethren that do some a black thing when they name hidden colors. And them give me the fullness of the university, named Pierre Ankh University, or the University of Life, governed by priests. And it's the old-time salvation that was the glue that held everything. All right. When I was in Ghana for the 11 months, we used to read with some scholars, and there was a bridge where there was a store right by where we used to live in Ateshi, in Nungwa. And we used to go check him and me and him reason, and the truth be told, me really like him sister. But that's why music, but me and him used to reason. All right, one Saturday evening, we go check him in a full white. At the first now, he must see me in a full white. And he asked me, say, what is the significance of that? And me I say, significance of what? Me know him talk about sin, but me still want him to say it. Him say, you in full white. So me say, me is a Sabbath keeper. Me keep Sabbath from Friday, 6 o'clock. And to Saturday, 6 o'clock, we keep Sabbath. And the brethren, me see like an astonishment come from him face. And him say to me, say, Rasta man, you just say something to me where for thousands of years we have this instrument over the where there's an astrology university. Him say for thousands of years we have this thing and we have instruments up there that measure vibration that comes through Africa. Him say every Friday 6 o'clock to Saturday 6 o'clock, it vibrates 10 times stronger. And them couldn't understand what was this phenomena. So me I show him say the Sabbath blessing where I come through. But your soul has to be aligned with yourself. In other words, you have to keep the Sabbath day holy to receive it. Understand? To further concretize it, this, I was in a New York airport and I read take up a popular magazine. So me I read before the plane come to Jamaica. And I open the book and the book just fall right into show you there was an illustration of the sunball that emanates an energy 10 times greater Friday 6 o'clock to Saturday 6 o'clock. The sunball emanates an energy 10 times greater. And it comes down first over Ethiopia and then spread. So you see the Sabbath is a cosmic. If you even read the Kebra Negas, the glory of the kings, it shows you Exodus 29 from creation with the Sabbath day to be kept holy. I know something man make up is a cosmic where there's an energy where 10 times greater that quickens the spirit and thereby quickening the flesh. It's a cosmic. And not no man make up. And Moses was a great scientist that was too. Some of the people them wouldn't understand if him going out scientifically. So he just say, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Yes, so many one man come one like say no, a Prince Emmanuel make it up. Or it's a cosmic where black people, judgment bars is sitting and deal with the Sabbath. Blessed.
Give thanks, give thanks for your son. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And some poor son them like something not coming in like kind of color. You know business here.
Yes, I glorify. Thought the priest was still speaking, but yes, my Lord, give thanks for the bringing it forward really to the origin, because that's a good place to start. And I would like to take a moment to establish the fact that I did some studying, looked and realized that there's scholars, people, students or scholars, whatever you want to call them, who have done research and proved that and the people doing the research were what they call Seventh-day Adventists, but still they keep the Saturday Sabbath and not the Sunday. But they found that in a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but in a good bit of African like cultures, they had a Saturday, they had a god that, had like a principle around the Sabbath, that the Sabbath day was a special day, a holy day. And, like in South Africa, in Central Africa, and West Africa, and in East Africa, you find people who kept a Saturday Sabbath principle, a seventh day, rest, and had a god of, that had that type of, I don't know if you want to call it worship or just principle in general. But so the point is that these cultures existed before the European missionaries came with the Bible, telling them, which they, at that time, they were telling them about Sunday worship still, because the Pope had made Sunday the day, and they really were adamant about, when they came into Africa and encountered these groups, they really fought hard to get them to stop with the Saturday worship or the Saturday praise, the Saturday rest. They wanted them to accept the Sunday principle, which, I think that's very I don't know if it's symbolic or what, but the fact that the Pope and the missionaries, one of their major missions in Africa, and was to get rid of the Sabbath, and to move it to the first day of the week, which is, not written in the scriptures anywhere, so it just shows, the importance of the Sabbath, because even one of the historical figures that I read about was a African man who, who had followers, in a sense, where he introduced this concept of keeping the Sabbath on Saturday. And he had told people that that's where he got his power from. And, the numbers grew really, really quickly because of the fact that the people already identified with the Saturday Sabbath principle. So now when they got it again in the form of, like, because this is after the missionaries had come and introduced Christianity to them and made them accept the Sunday thing. So now it wasn't just one person, but there was a few different people who came now with the Sabbath, remembering the Sabbath, the actual Sabbath, and the numbers grew quickly in following that old principle, which was brought to them again. So it's kind of the same. What you see with King Emmanuel, because as the priest said, he's not the one who created the principle or whatever. He just brought it to our remembrance, and so for that we glorify.
Exactly.
Yes, my Lord. So we glorify.
And I pray thee.
Yes,
Honorable. What they are essentially trying to do is to kill Christ out of flesh. Understand? So by killing the Sabbath now, you kill Christ, or everybody stop Sabbath. Or not, even if one man on the planet has Sabbath, Christ alive. Understand? So that is what they are essentially trying to do, to kill Christ out of flesh by trying to obliterate the Sabbath day. Even the first language that man has ever written, gays or guys, however it is pronounced. The seventh day, the word for the seventh day is Sabbath too. S-A-B-A-T-U. The first word is Sabbath, because it's a cosmic. Let me tell you this, we are virgins, share with me. People used to, because you see, the emperor is an ardent Sabbath keeper. He don't miss no Sabbath. The people used to be amazed at no matter where he is in Ethiopia, because he keep him Sabbath at a certain church on an island, right? Them say no matter where him is, and them everybody has say him can't reach. Them say by 5:30 him is there, no matter where he is in Africa, in Ethiopia. When 5:30 come, him is there. You understand, brethren? The Sabbath don't have nothing to play with, brethren. Our man come try and mix up, because Me see I want something coming in since me open the office. Where man come with constitution, the one love jam down constitution, and I come talk about and no mention nothing about the Sabbath. You understand? At the same Sunday principle, brethren, you just command the dreadlocks, earthquake. Pardon, Lord, blessed.
My Lord, give thanks. Yes, I mean, it's true. Well, I was just, I think I brought it to where I was bringing it, you know, just to remind the fact that King Emmanuel brought forward that tradition to our remembrance, just like the priest said, and the fact that it's not like and it's a phenomena that exists. It happened in Africa as well. You had but they didn't come with the full teaching of, you know, what King Emmanuel brought. Still, they came as Seventh-day Adventists with different, you know, African kind of interpretation, you know, so they had their African culture mixed into it still. So it kind of is about the same thing, you know, not to take away anything from anyone, but I think it just shows that African people have kept a Sabbath day principle predating the Bible or European influence. Yes, so with that, then I'll call on Honorable Prophet Joseph, who has his hand up.
Bless the Lord, my Lord, and Empress. Give thanks. Yes, give thanks for the study group and give thanks again for the Sabbath day, my Lord. Give thanks for the Sabbath that just gone by and for the 6 days of work, same way, my Lord. Give thanks for our Father, the Black Christ, El Chesi, the King of Salem, who come and teach us this ancient tradition, you know, and for the Black Moses, because Emmanuel is like Moses. When Moses went to his people and tell them, you know, within the 10 Commandments, that they must remember, you know, the Sabbath day, because it is a part of them, you know, from creation, from the time we were with God in creation. So it is a remembrance. The man come and teach us everything. Emmanuel teach us really, you know, within our tradition, being the Sabbath day, robe and turban. It is all our ancient African tradition. So I just wanted to quote a little part of an investigation that I found here to give a little bit of strength to the argument that Prophet Daniel was posting about Sabbath day being something kept by African tradition. So specifically about the Akan tribe, which is from where the Shanti come, same way in Ghana. So it is from a book that speaks about the Akan tradition and the Saturday rest. I will quote from here, and it says that Joseph Bakuya Dankwa points out, who is the man who makes the investigation, Almenar issue of a first progenitor and the ultimate ancestor and creative Nana, chief of the king, whose day is Saturday. This is within the Akan tradition. The divinity whom the Akan call Nyankopon Kwame, the great god of Saturday. That is what that means. This is the name that the Akan give to God. Kofi or Wusu Mensa indicates that if God is not remembered in Akan land for anything, it is for his day of worship, Saturday, the 7th day, and the last day of the Akan week. Saturday in the Akan language is Memenda, which is translated as a day in which traditionally you just eat or swallow food and rest. Mene means swallow, or mensa. Saturday is not just for the swallowing food, but was a day that the Akan typically worship God. It was a day of rest for them, and they also worship God on that day with some ritual of purification. So yes, my Lord, I just wanted to quote that to Semuya give thanks again for for Emmanuel Charles Edwards, coming to remember us, this part of the tradition that was taken from us through slavery, through oppression. It was 400 years where we, were imposed a different tradition. So just give thanks for the man who come and remember us this day to keep it holy, as it was in creation, in a part of Africa same way, and in different parts of Africa, but it was part of I and I, So blessed Lord, my Lord.
It's God. Give thanks to God.
Daniel,
Yes, my love.
yeah, just wanted to add something to what you were saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did Europe try to stamp out I tradition of Sabbath keeping and other traditions that work for us, but they gave it a stigma. They call it stargazing, because we were the astrologers of that time. We were the ones, the Dogons, an African tribe, was a tribe that could see and knew where Sirius B was. And it's a star that you cannot see with the naked eye. And they charted it. They were able to chart it and know exactly where it was. Our ancestors understood astrology. Astrology is what they used in the ancient time to deduce the seasons, the weeks, the days, that's how the whole calendar system came into being, using knowledge of astrology, which is how the universe, the heavens, affect things on earth, the symbiotic function between the heavens and the earth, and our ancient ancestors, they overstood that. They knew that. They could read the stars, they could read the atmosphere and knew when something was brewing, that something was afoot, so a storm, whatever it was. They could look and see that there was going to be a drought months down the road, not a drought tomorrow. They could read the heavens and understand all of that. That's how you had the Planter's Almanac become developed, where you had these almanacs that they would give out for the planters, them to follow, planting their crops, reaping their crops, and so forth and so on, by how the heavens function. So they made, studying of the heavens, studying of astrology, they demonized it, like what they do everything that works for I and I, works for Black people, African people. Them come and them demonize it. So them say, no, ones are stargazers. So they make that a taboo. So only them supposed to study the stars and understand how it functions, how it correlates with the atmosphere of the earth and the function of the earth. Just wanted to interject that into that whole reasoning that you had brought.
Yes, my Lord. Thanks. So, I think that with all of that shared, it clearly proves that, it's a principle that is is not like, I don't know. I don't want to say this, but I don't want to create a whole side discussion. But in the past, we've reasoned about religion and spirituality and the difference in the two. Now, the Sabbath keeping existed before there was a such thing as what we would classify today as religion, and it has come down in different forms and different traditions and cultures as a spiritual practice, as the priest just, established that it was something that was in tune with nature. And, it gives power, to the people who conduct whatever rituals, or if it's just, everybody has a different way that they, keep the Sabbath, if they say they're keeping the Sabbath, and maybe they don't call it that, but still is the same seventh day rest, seventh day worship kind of principle. So it goes across, a bunch of different demographics, like different types of people, and Africa, maybe outside of Africa too, but we're just showing the connection that, you know, our thing is an ancient practice and it's not something new that just came, you know, the other day. As a matter of fact, it's, you know, one of the only commandments in the Bible, one of the only 10 commandments that is really like overlooked. You know, most of the world keeps the Sunday. I don't think it's really called a Sabbath really, but they worship on Sunday and they, you know, go shopping and partying and stuff on Saturday. So the fact that King Emmanuel brought that to our remembrance, I think gives us, not to make us like say special, more special than anybody else, because it's really for all people, but it just shows the great significance that the Sabbath principle holds. I mean, you know, the 10 Commandments, as Christ said, he didn't come to change Moses' law, you know, he just came to fulfill it. So it's like, you know, if people really observe the God of the Bible and say that that's their God, the Sabbath is not only, is not just like a, if you want to, it's a commandment, you know, just like you shouldn't murder, steal, covet, you know, adultery, all of them other things that we try not to do, but the Sabbath just is one that people kind of, I don't know what the disconnect is, you know, but it's just as relevant as all the others. And in fact, it's the only commandment that has, you know, a death sentence attached to it if you don't, you know, if you don't keep it, say, or else you will be put to death. Whereas you would think maybe murder would be the same, but it didn't say that about murder. It didn't say that about any of the other ones. So the Sabbath principle is very important. So, you know, give thanks that King Emmanuel brought that back to our remembrance still. So I don't know if anyone else has anything to add on that. If not, we'll move it forward. I'll leave it, you know, if anyone has anything they wanted to add about that connection to the ancient African tradition, then now is the time. Otherwise, we'll move forward with the next aspect of the Sabbath reasoning.
Oh, blessed love, royal family.
My Lord, blessed love.
Oh, give thanks unto, you know, the royal family, the Ethiopian royal family. Give thanks to the blessed study group, you know.
Yes, I.
Yes, blessed love, royal, my Lord, Empress, Prince, Princess, you know. All Christ man, all Christ woman, you know, that is listening at this time, give thanks, you know. As we touch the Sabbath, you know, my Lord, you know, of our former liberty, you know, before we come into captivity, you know. Yes. And as the idol just speak, you know, I was going to bring it to our remembrance that the Sabbath day is the only day that carry a death sentence, you know. And it is also one of the most blessed and holy day, you know. Yes. The only day that we can eat, drink, you know, and praise good most high. Selassie. Yeah.
Rastafari.
Yeah, you know, so this is how we used to live after the Father make his creation, you know, he's made his creation and he gave us the Sabbath day, you know. Yes. So this is why, you know, we are reminded, you know, to remember the Sabbath, meaning it is something we used to before we came into captivity, you know. Yes. And out of the 10 remember also our Father bring forward the 2 statement or testament or the 2 tablets, you know, that they say Moses did receive, 2 tables of stone, and he bring forward the 2 chapter, Exodus 20, Exodus 31, one spiritual, one physical, you know. And out of all of these commandments, only the Sabbath, you know, carries the death sentence, you know. The most blessed day, the most holy days, like he has to, you know, actually force us, you know, to remember to be obedient to this day, you know, because it was the only day we knew in holy Mount Zion, I, most high, Selassie. Give thanks, royal family. Blessed art.
My Lord. Glorify. Yes, the Pope wanted to get rid of it, eradicate this Saturday Sabbath keeping principle, which I mean, that just shows you if the Pope is against it, we should be for it, because there's nothing good the Pope wants for us, even though he understands, the Pope himself and his, cardinals, they understand the reality of it. They try to keep the people away from the reality, and therefore that's how they create their, religion that takes people out of themselves, where we would see the Sabbath as a principle that builds us, builds the God in us, the God energy, where we've, whether we do as the Father said and keep to ourselves and, on our bed, read our scriptures, or if we go into the tabernacle and sing and, do all of that together, play music and hold banner and all them things, the good of it is that it's building you, when you sing a hymn, it strengthens you. When you, if you're a priest and you're ministering, you're doing your work, that builds you. There's more experience in doing that. If you're one listening, watching, if you're in the congregation, it's building you the same way. Everybody is building themselves, and it's just it's not like I have to do it or else I'm going to be in trouble with God or something like that. It's really just like a voluntary, a choice to give yourself a justice, because even the fact that God, would say it's so important that you take a day to rest, just shows you, it shows me that he cares about giving ourselves a justice, because if you just work straight through and you never rest yourself, then you're just, depleting your energy and never restoring it. And not just like your physical rest, but like the spiritual rest. Like, if you just go through and focus on making money and doing them type of works all the time, and you don't ever give no time to, your spiritual practice, then spiritually you would, eventually your spirituality would decrease.
Burn out.
Yeah, yes, my Lord. So
it's like a car. It's just like a car, my brother. If you drive your car and don't service it, and hear the word them use, service it. It's gonna pop up. See,
That's right.
The same way we have a service with temple every seven.
That's right.
So you keep the temple fresh and renewed and alive,
and purified.
It's right. Well, when we look, Virgin and Empress, and see the origins of the tradition now, we're taking it way back to prove that, as Priest Stewie said, it wasn't an invention of no man in this place and around our west. This thing come from way back when, our ancestors was able to determine the time of the year, the seasons, the whole function, the lunar function of the earth. They were able to determine that without a calendar. So where I keep Sabbath from before calendar exists, is where I'm going with this. See, by our ancestors being able to know when was the 7th day. Many things told them, from the animals' action to the atmosphere to many things, to the moon. If you track the moon, what cycle the moon is in, whether it is quarter moon, new moon, whatever it is, tells you where the month is and all of that. Our ancestors were able to determine, you understand, that whole 7-day week concept from before man was able to conceptualize it and put it in our calendar. Yes, sir.
Was there telepathic before telephone?
The telephone come distract the telepathic right now, because them distraction, they make we don't have them energy flow clearly right now. Because we depend on phone now to send the message, and yes, my brother, message well understood.
Yes, I. So now I would like to even, transition, the conversation to the next aspect of, the Sabbath and bring it forward to you know, the early Rastafari movement and, you know, how the Sabbath became a part. Well, I just, you know, I'll leave it there. When Rastafari became a thing after His Majesty was crowned? Before His Majesty was crowned, you had, you know, people who in the West who did keep the Sabbath for sure. In America, there was different groups that was like, you know, so-called, like they called themselves Israelites as well, and kept the Sabbath principle. And I don't know about, like, say, the Caribbean. Maybe one of the items can fill us in. Was there groups in the Caribbean before Rastafari who kept the Sabbath day, the seventh day rest principle?
Even coming from Bedward days, from Union Camp and Bedward days in Augustown. Those were the early days. He preceded even Marcus Garvey. Okay. And when you look, he thought that his concept was a Sabbath concept as well. You know, his whole theology was similar to Pinnacle and Dada. You know, self-reliant, thought about a black God, talk about a black Zion, everything. So the concept of nothing is new under the sun kind of drives home that, you know, when I hear that question posed. You know.
Listen.
Honorable.
My Lord, me have to share this with the item again, you know, because this will clear up enough things. When Dada send me go to Ghana again, enough things me clear in my head, or for my head it's here. When I was in Ghana, right? No, before that. I was here on the hill, because Dada give me instruction and tell me, say, anytime a vision, anything, even if him a rest, if you rise him up and make him interpret it. All right. One Sabbath Friday evening, but I'm going to check him maybe about it was about maybe 12 o'clock when we get up out of the vision. I'm going to rise him up and I show him the vision. How the vision go? There was a stream of water running in front of me. It wasn't wide, but it blew. And just as I was about to step in it, some next one with full white jump off and run come to me and say, no, don't step in it. Even though it narrow, it deep, and it will carry away. But I will take you to the source of it. And when him take me to him, I said to him, all right, this is not the vision, you know. I say, all right. And when he carry me go up on just this big rock, just a round rock. And he said, look through the hole was big like a watch face. He said, look through the hole. That is the source of that stream. And when we go and look through the hole, all I saw was blue, like the sky do. So I show him the vision, and you can check it out. And then he say, all right, you see the water? The water are the people then. The water are the people. And that source, that rock, are like someone, you know. My Lord, we go to Ghana. Upstairs veranda house where Chris Campbell and me stand up on the upstairs veranda and I watch the people them. Some of the women them have 7 pieces of material. It come like it's a flowers garden. Walk up and down in the street. So just as I know, I'm look now, I see a dreadlocks youth on a bicycle, I ride past, I'm hear him. And when him look up and see me jump off of the bicycle and come inside, I'm letting me in and come inside and me and him start reason. And we are showing him, say, we are a repatriation network. And him bust out and said to me, say, but I know the repatriation lands and the land left for Uno and the man with it give on it and everything. Come and carry go. So we said, no. Who can do it? So to the chief and set a date and and tell him, and then we will back and it does like a Tuesday and come back and show Wednesday and show him say Chief say he will come he will take he will come deal with the Thursday if we come. It was 8 of us. I don't know if you can remember. Yet, but it was I man was there. It was 8 of us anyway. Anyway, we went up to the chief. This is my show him say the people and the breading. At the vision, we see I just a handful and take me to the chief. Up at this place named Aburi. Up Aburi now is where His Majesty is one of the only places outside of Ethiopia that can build a palace church. And more similar to Ethiopia. Obviously, it's cool. I mean, time and comfort. So it's cool more. Check him every Sunday and buy Sunday newspaper and buy banana and carry him. We start by Sunday newspaper and banana and carry him. I mean, he get into reasoning. Him say, listen carefully. Him say, only priest Alexander now still alive, you know, because priest Hugo was there to vote. Priest Hugo was one of them of the 8-man delegation. So when one day up at Aburi, Emperor Selassie came up to him at the hill in Aburi. And they said to him, say, His Majesty need a place to build a palace, a church, that when he come to Ghana, being Ghana so important, him have a place to stay instead of going to hotels. All right. Him say him was there, I want to listen carefully, you know. Him was there when Kwame Nkrumah got the instruction from His Majesty. Say 1957, the 6th of March, 1957, at the independence of Ghana, when he was dropping the Union Jack, when him go up to the podium, he must call King Emmanuel Charles Edward's name on the podium and make the world hear and have him come up, because this is the Almighty God. Nothing else can unite Africa but that man's church. Apology to no one when we say that. Nothing can unite Africa but that man's church. Him never do it. You know him do? Him go married to Nasser, who was the then president of the Egypt when they have the Falls Egypt when they have in Africa there. Him was the president. Him go married to her. His daughter say, no, before that, the queen or the chief, I make me know all of this. You know. The chief said the queen, Elizabeth, come down, they come sleep with Nkrumah and tell him, say, him not have to come send way down at Jamaica, you know, Christ. Even a black man can be the Christ. That flying in bed now and say, yes, him going to do it by, so him going to unite Africa by marrying Nasser daughter in Egypt, thereby uniting. He might take out the gold out of the flag, make it look like Italy flag. You understand? The chief said to me, say, if you ever see that the man, that the little man, the rat, you know, want to near him when him a rat, and say, he was there when Selassie hold on and Nkrumah, 2 shoulder, and shake him and say, for this, you shall die. Want to hear me? Because Selassie make him know, say, make this man come up, because ain't nothing else can unite Africa but that man church. You understand? So I don't want every minute here, man, I come to about this mix up with other. As a matter of fact, let me tell you the next history of this man here. We in the office here, and the Institute of Jamaica invited us to the Institute to come. This brethren here, you good know him, Professor Robert Hill. He write one of the autobiography of Marcus Garvey. He used to teach at New York University. Right? Robert Hill invited us to the Institute. Me and Priest Flieger went, and remember distinctly, Muta Baruka sit on right side of Priest Flieger. You understand? And the first thing the man said when he was researching the work, and him say Marcus Garvey work and everything, they all over Europe. So him go all over Europe and research to find it, so he can compile everything concerning Marcus Garvey. And him say when he reach at one point, him see the pay stub of every Rasta organization, the leader of every Rastafari organization. All of them get paid by the FBI, the MI6 of England, and the CIA of America. Him say only one name wasn't there. Now I tell a man which name, but only one name him say wasn't there getting paid.
7.
Down, yeah, God. Yeah. Right. So we want the item to be careful and just keep focused on what we are doing and stop look on them these things that try to trick rebellion, because the bottom line of it try to kill Christ out of flesh by trying to get rid of people who are keeping Sabbath. And they will come all kind of way, all kind of part where they will come to try to do it. Is one man against the world, both sides. That's yeah. That's right. Yes, but you know, I just saw it going on. We have to just careful and keep steadfast and keep focused. Because more in the bottom line is King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards, them are fight. Even this reparation thing with them, every one of them are grown with, but the general tell me said all of them going to be 10 years too late. Why everyone don't join it and come to it? Because just was said the money if you go in an Ethiopia bank, you know, if you come now in the West. So enough man know them want to try to attach themselves now, because them know say at the church alone, because Jad tell me that all of them go 10 years too late. And anyone who put any petition to the United Nations or the World Court of Justice, them going to tell them that a petition is already there.
Yes, my Lord. Let's allow some other people to have a moment to speak.
My Lord,
thanks for the reasoning. We were going to, bring it forward now to the Rastafari movement. We established the historical connection. I wanted to understand, how the Sabbath keeping principle, from what I would like for, Priest Dougie, you know more about it than me for sure. You could tell us like how, you was staying with bed where there was, Sabbath keeping principle. How did it become where now it's really only, as far as I know, it's only Bobo Shanti that really keep the Sabbath like that. Maybe there might be some other groups who came later afterwards, but like the original Rastafari houses or mansion, whatever you want to call them, how did they come to be where only Bobo Shanti was really keeping that principle? Priest Dougie, you have to unmute, my Lord.
And we have to give thanks that we're still keeping it, my Lord, because as you see, even with I&I is a remnant of what it was. So just imagine out there, ones that do have the discipline that I&I have through the teaching of our father, King Emmanuel, Charles Edwards. So now, if Dada didn't teach we and build the fortitude in I&I the way it is, we wouldn't even, because the man saying in the last days, it go even rough for the saints and the elects who hold on. The man say even the saints and the elects are going to find it hard to hold on. So as we say, once kind of evolve into just survival mode. And as you see today in the world, is not many things hold the value of sentiment that it held back in the day. Things that are dear to us. We fought for the freedom to dreadlocks and go school. We fought for the freedom to wear colors. The empresses of our time fought for the freedom to wear them long skirt and them knots or them braids. See, today, youth them don't want that. Even the Rasta youth them moving away from that. It doesn't hold that reverence anymore, that sentiment. So that is what has happened. In the early days, you had more brethren that came out of a Baptist background. More of the leaders came out of a Baptist background, had a 7-day type of mentality. See, so they understood the whole, what we were discussing earlier, the whole religious realm. They knew the power of religion and spirituality. They knew, you know, the order, see, and they understood that whole 7-day philosophy, you know. So that's where you find Father Gooden round by Rainbow Healing Temple. His congregation also wore white on Sabbath. They were very similar to I and I, you know, them chant, them drums and them give eyes is how they did, you know. Not telling you it was exactly the same, see, because none of I and I's groups are exactly the same. There's always a little variation, but they were close to I and I in that aspect of things, see. And then you had others, you know, as a matter of fact, most ceremonies and most rituals were done around the Sabbath, around the Friday, Saturday, Iowa, you know. So if you want to look at it, that Iowa naturally carries that sabbatical vibe, you know, that moment when you just feel like it's a time for chill. It's a time to take stock. It's a time to give thanks for being alive and to the life giver and all of the good things. See, so yeah, it is the evolution that we see has happened today, where even I house itself is trying to re-identify itself and reassert itself to being some form of an energy. See, so it's been a grueling fight, you know, to stay focused and stay centered on Africa, because the forces have been against I. The forces have done everything, just like how you said it earlier, you know, how they attack Africa and try to beat out the concept of the 7-day out of Africa. Then what you think of with I? It's the same way the forces have been against I, the conscious community. Wherever you have the conscious community, you have the forces of evil aimed at it, because they cannot allow the conscious community to thrive and to be influential, because then Tutus will have the whole society thinking the way we think. That's why them got out the King's music, you know, the King's form of reggae music. You understand? When I say the King's form of reggae music, growing up, there was the King's music and there was the sound system music. The King's music was the message music that glorified the emperor and the empress and glorified Rastafari and the Levity and so forth. And also some of them echoed out I wars and I sentiment, you know. And over time, them ease that out. The same forces ease that out because they cannot allow us to be influential, you know. So that's why our father understood the system, you know. Dada understood that we were fighting a constant battle. You understand? It's a battle for the minds and the hearts of the people. You know, you control the mind, the body will go where the mind go. See, and sometimes the heart not even functioning because some of these acts and some of these people that we come into contact with daily, them lack heart, them heartless in their actions, you know. So it's evolution and time, you know, and the struggle has worn down things to where it is at, where Bobo Shanti is the only one still holding fast to the Sabbath in whatever way we can. My Lord, Empress.
Angel, Royal Angel.
My Lord.
Yeah, I just want to careful look at thing with the honorable priest saying about the King reggae music, and you know, no, I don't love the word attached to it at all. I don't love that word the reggae attached to it, you know, because that word the reggae I come from a derogatory word, you know. You never have no reggae music, man. The divine order of the Naya Bingi, beloved, you know. You have conscious, yeah, say the conscious music, where the good conscious word we used to play upon them music, they're different, you know, but not the King reggae music. No. I don't love that one that Anna. Listen.
Yeah, but it's never I come up with that title, you know. I just expressing a sound. That is what them did call it back in them time there. I stand corrected, you know.
But the first thing that sound they stayed.
Them did define the two of them for identify what was culture, what we call culture music today at that time. We define it differently from the other music, which was the dancehall music now and the chingbang music. That is all the name that they come into it. You know, them call one the King's music and one the dancehall music or whatever.
Yeah, blessed Lord, my Lord, may I?
Yes, go through, my Lord.
Yes, on the subject of the music. You see the reggae music and all of these other music that come outside of the Nyabingi. Adolf Hitler and what did you boy name again? And them speed up the music to 440 hertz or cycles per second, which wind you out of yourself. The Nyabingi, it run at 320 or 40 cycles per second or hertz that take you into yourself. The Nyabingi is a cosmic, that are our music, that are the king's music. You understand? All of these words, the reggae and all of them, when them it was something by design to spin we out ourselves or create reggae music, brethren. You understand? And the Nyabingi that turns at 300 and I don't remember 20 or 40 cycles per second. We take you in yourself. The Nyabingi music also alkaline your temple. Because music also can alkaline your temple, of which no virus can exist in an alkaline environment. You understand? So man, be careful in the matter. We try all the while man I try to mix in and I come off for them own understanding. Kuyak. Blessed.
My Lord. So not to go on, to that too much on the reggae and not being vibes. Keep it on the Sabbath principle, reasoning on the Sabbath still. We were, bringing it forward to, the current moment where Bobo Shanti really out of Rastafari is the main house, the main order, keeping the Sabbath. And, that is significant, but it does, not to make us seem like we, better than anyone else still. But I think, when it comes to, if we Rastafari come from a Bible tradition, then you can't really go around the 10 Commandments. And being that we, try to keep all of the 10 Commandments, I think that says something, when it comes to, redemption of Black people, bringing us forward to our natural self, being that the Sabbath keeping principle is our own, and it's not something that was given to us by anyone else. It's really important to note that fact. And we can move it forward now to, what is the Sabbath is the foundation principle of the EABIC. We could reason really about why, why is the Sabbath, why did King Emmanuel say that the Sabbath is the foundation of this order, the foundation of this people? My Lord and Empress, feel free, anyone, raise your hand if you want to. If you don't know how to do that, you can just unmute as long as no one else is already speaking. I will say, someone in the study group did research and say that the March 1st, the foundation day of the Congress was a Saturday. It was still a Sabbath, when that groundation meeting or gathering did take place, it started on the Sabbath. So anyway, anyone, feel free. Why is the Sabbath the foundation principle? Why is it so important?
Lord.
Yes, I.
Yes.
Go through.
Bless the love.
Yes,
Bless, yeah, is anybody speaking?
No, go through, my Lord.
Thought I heard somebody.
Yeah, my Lord.
Yes, Honorable. Oh, go through.
My Lord, go ahead, my Lord. Feed on, my Lord. You go ahead.
Yes, Honorable. Who is that?
Jack Clark, man.
Jack Clark. Well, Jack Clark will probably come with the same thing, It's something biblical, It's the first commandment technically, because even before the tablets of stone that came, we had in the book of Genesis where the day was hallowed and God rested on this day. So it was the first law really given in the creation story. So yeah, that is simply answering it, my lord.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it would be a foundation for us as the first law given unto man. You know? Yes, my Lord. Yes, my Lord.
Give thanks, Jack Carlton. Jack Clarkey, did you want to go through, my Lord?
Heart of love to your family, my Lord.
Yes, I bless the love.
Yes, heart of love. Yes, my Lord. Pertaining to the question that I asked, my Lord, concerning, the Sabbath to be the foundation of the association, as the Honorable Angel say, just now, my Lord, that 6 days God did create the heaven and the earth, and the 7th day he did rested. So we know that the Sabbath, my Lord, is a covenant then from that time until this time. Now we see in ancient time, my Lord, even before Exodus 20 came up, the Sabbath was done even in existence. So it's an ancient creation law, my Lord. As we say, God come with, certain fulfillment through the moral law, and then it are the ceremonial laws, my Lord. The moral law is the commandment, my Lord, which is the royal law now. To show you back that anyone who hold the Sabbath day, praise the true God of creation who made heaven and earth. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. You also see, my Lord, as I say, on the 1st of March, on Saturday, my Lord, 1958, King Emmanuel did gather, my Lord, 2,000 people at back a wall, my Lord. And that was the rising of the Congress, my Lord, out of the people, my Lord. Yes. So it have other things, my Lord, within the fulfillment of the foundation of the association, which is the keeping of the Sabbath too, my Lord. Because just saying the commandments is to remember the Sabbath day, my Lord. Because if we check it out in the world, my Lord, in the world, most business do flourish on the Saturday, my Lord, on the 7th day, my Lord. So it's a certain principality working, and then it's a certain right now because the covenant, when a man will have covenant, is an agreement between you and God. Even in the book of Exodus chapter 20, show you that too. The book of Ezekiel chapter 20, show you these things too, is an agreement between you and God. So Jah no force no man, because King Emmanuel never compel no man to hold no right or force him. He just showed me days the way how to do it. So we give thanks to our leader, and the floor could free again, my Lord. Man, Allah, bless.
Rastafari. Yes, I.
Royal Majesty.
Honorable.
Oh, blessed my Lord.
Ready.
See, this is the foundation, is a life foundation, beloved. Yeah. Yeah, it's come to show us how to, preserve our life, Yeah, so I want not to look on it as when the flesh drop, now the life gone still, because greater is in the flesh, than the flesh that you see still, So because his life, this man come with, this is why the Sabbath is the foundation, because remember, pollution of the Sabbath is death, Holy Emmanuel, I.
Jah, Rastafari.
So in keeping of the Sabbath is just adding life unto life, beloved. Give thanks.
My Lord.
Bless the Lord, Honorable.
Yes, my Lord.
Yeah, man. So, we give thanks for the 1st of March, 1958, same way, when the foundation was formed, same way, And as the priest say, it's freedom, redemption, repatriation, So the man come with the Sabbath because we don't know that the only commandment was a death penalty. And Christ come with life in abundance, my Lord. So freedom now, to be free to do what we want to do in Africa. Redemption, to save his soul from sin, sickness and death. Redemption, and repatriation, to return home to the country. So you want to be returned home to be free, to live forever, So the man come with the EBIC, the man established it. The rise of the EBIC from since them time, 1958, and the Sabbath, the holy rest day. So we give thanks for the blessed rest day, because that day now was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. So when we keeping the Sabbath now, we know too, the Sabbath keeping we too. Yeah, the Sabbath keep we too, that's natural, So we give thanks for the R man, to come again, bring our thing back to remembrance, uplift Rastafari, because, society look down on Rastafari, but when they come and see Rastafari hold commandments and laws, they come and see
is the highest in creation, you know. Rastafari, same way, you know. And we give thanks for the Black Christ who continue the tradition. Because enough elders who trouble the Black Christ too, they come and see the stop whole Sabbath too. Enough Rastafari groups out there, they stop whole Sabbath too. But we give thanks for the perpetual covenant between God and man, between God and Israel, you know. The holy rest day. Yeah, my Lord and Empress, Prince and Princess. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
Give thanks, my Lord. Was there anyone else wanted to speak on that particular aspect?
My Lord.
Honorable.
Freedom, my Lord. I could just enlighten something to the INM still, my Lord.
Yes, I go through.
Yes, my Lord. In the Old Testament, just speak of the 7th day 126 times, my Lord.
Wow.
Right? And 62 times, my Lord, in the New Testament about the 7th day, my Lord. I would even like to add to something, my Lord, to the class still, you know, when the Vatican come and change the Saturday law to the Sunday law, my Lord. You know, so that was the first Sunday observance law in this time, not in the time like Memorial in that time, but in this Advent year now. You know, so we give thanks again for such information, my Lord. You know, we could share still with Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Right, so I want to read something to the eyes still. Right, the Catholic Church declared Cardinal Gibbons, by virtue of a divine mission, changed the day from Saturday to Sunday. Again, my Lord, the question is asked to them, which is the Sabbath day? They would answer and say, Saturday is the Sabbath day. The question was asked again, my Lord, why do we observe Sunday instead of Saturday? The answer was answered, my Lord and Empress. We observe Sunday instead of Saturday because the Catholic Church in the Council of Laodicea, AD in 364, transferred the solemnity from Saturday to Sunday. So at that time, my Lord, that was the first Sunday law in our method. You know, I just bring forth that to the class, my Lord and Empress. Let's see. Jah, Rastafari.
Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, my Lord. Yes, floor is open.
Blessed art, in what year that was done? Was it 63 or before?
Jack Clarkey.
National Sunday law.
My Lord.
He said
in what year
year
it was done, beloved?
My Lord, in the year 3. Right here, in the year 364, my Lord.
364. Mm-hmm.
Yes, my Lord, 80. In the Council of Laodicea, my Lord. They transfer it, my Lord, from Saturday to Sunday.
Give thanks.
My Lord.
Worthy. Give thanks, my Lord, for that information. Honorable Empress Lily May, you have your hand up. You can unmute and speak, Empress. Empress Lily can unmute.
Yes, hello, my Lord, pardon me.
Blessed.
Greeting everyone. Thanks for my favor. Give thanks for all the great testimonies that I'm hearing. I love to hear testimonies, you know. I love to give them also. Give thanks for this blessed day. Give thanks for the Lord of the Sabbath, you know. And I, you know, as elders who's on this glorious panel today, we enjoyed, you know, with great joy to see Father Moses, who gave us these laws, come forward in this dispensation and live them, you know, to perfection. Because when you see His Majesty King Emmanuel Charles Edwards ready for his Sabbath by 12 o'clock, he and his whites, he just receiving his dignitaries, you know, and getting his house in order. Everyone running around like ants. It was a glory and a joy to see His Majesty King Maljas ever keep his Sabbath. And 5:30 he'll go on his veranda, full whites. And the virgin then will have the county washing it out and looking down at the congregation at Psalms reading. And he put this conch shell and wash it out. And he'd blow the trumpet, you know, at 6 o'clock, and he'd blow from east, west, north, and south. What a glory! What a glory, you know, the scene. Sabbath is really a commandment, you know. And like the brethren them say, it comes with life and death. And to keep the Sabbath day perfect. And no Sabbath is two Sabbaths alike. Every Sabbath. I've been keeping Sabbath 47 years now. And every Sabbath is different. And as you keep the Sabbath, like he said, keep it holy. Every Sabbath, it get holier and holier and holier. You know, the Sabbath is a serious day. It's like this is the only day that deliver, you know, man from the bottomless pit, you know. And it's a great joy for me to live on the hill and see His Majesty King Charles Edwards keep his Sabbath and his white from his white turban straight down to his white sandals and his house. Feel the holiness, my Lord. Trust me. If you are not a God, just go around Him and bless the Lord for the Sabbath, you know, and you just feel the ambience of holiness, you know. So, if God would allow me, I'd love to read something from the Black Jews of Ethiopia. They say the Falash anthology, but it's the better Israel anthology. It's written by Wolf Blitzer, a professor from New York. And this is what he said. My particular gratitude goes to His Imperial Majesty Emperor Selassie I, whose sympathetic cooperation and scholarly undertaking has made my research work in Ethiopia in 1947 and 1950 cordial cooperation of His people, Most High Selassie Jah.
Yeah, Rastafari.
Wolf bless you, New York, May 1951. I was in PA.
I'd like to say a few words, Daniel.
All right, Honorable.
So,
You done, Empress Lily?
that's it?
Are you done? You seal up?
No. I'm going to
Okay.
read for the Sabbath now. It says, O people, come, you, for and my rest. They will enjoy a rest without limit and the happiness of the just. They will have respite from the mouth of hell on that holy day, on the Sabbath. They will live in joy. They will see strife, nor will the noise of strife be heard. They who, because of the Sabbath, gave to eat will eat. Justice is good. The Sabbath is good. Silence on the Sabbath is good. The doing of justice on the Sabbath is good. Nothing is like the Sabbath. Mercy and alms are greater than all. Justice is good. Humility before God is good. And patience are good. Kindness is good. True judgment is good. Worshipping is good. Nothing can Sabbath and observance of the commandments. There's no other commandment like it that can deliver the souls from the souls of man, the punishment of hell. The Sabbath is good above all. God loves to observe the Sabbath. Sabbath is good above all. God hates those who observe not the Sabbath. The Sabbath is good. No, the Sabbath is better than all commandments. Repeat that. The Sabbath is better than all the commandments. The Sabbath is good. The man who is against me, oh God, is he who observes not the commandments of the Sabbath and his precepts, and who believes not. Those ties, last year,
Yeah, Rastafari.
from the Black Ethiopian Jews. So give thanks and glorify, if we just continue keeping the Sabbath, keep it holy, not just keeping it, keep it holy. Right? The greatest way to keep the Sabbath, if you're not in the tabernacle, is in your bedroom and the silence. You can learn a lot by going in yourself and just keep the order, commandments, 7 Psalms, on your Sabbath lesson and Isaiah 42.
Yes, I give thanks and praise Lily for sharing, from that book and your own personal input as well. Call on Honorable Empress Maisie now.
Blessed love.
Blessed love, Mama.
Holy Manuel I, Selassie, Jah,
Yeah.
Rastafari. Praise the Lord, all ye nation. Praise him, all ye people. For his loving kindness is great towards us. We give thanks to the gratefulness of our God and King. Our King adore, Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed love to one and all. Give thanks, for this reasoning, this very, very important topic that we are discussing today, the Sabbath day, the Sabbath. Give thanks. When I was small and I used to leave country and come to town, I used to see this little lady, very small, and she was always up and down in town. If you go across road, you see her. Downtown, you see her, and her word was, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work, but on the Sabbath day is the rest of thy garden. Yeah, and I used to observe her, and I remember her today, So from them times, Sabbath was in evidence, but it wasn't a lot of people was keeping the Sabbath because the Sabbath day on Saturday is the big merchants, big selling anywhere you go. Yeah, there's no way in the world that kept Sabbath day holy. I don't know of that country where really, in their country, there's nothing they do on Sabbath but rest. But, they all, to me, every country make their big money on the Sabbath. But we give thanks to King Emmanuel, our divine teacher, who come and teach us about the Sabbath day, how this day is the day of all day, powerful days. Out of the 7 days, the Sabbath day is to be kept holy. And as the priest might remind us, if we pollute the Sabbath, then we'll surely put to death. And that is what Exodus 31 have showed us. So we give thanks, for the, that's why the Father say I have to read the Bible, and follow the guideline of the Bible. And if we do that, then we are on the right track. But we give thanks again, for the testimonies today, of the honorable priests them, who's talking about the Sabbath. I give thanks, that I really come to the foundation and learn more about the Sabbath and how we must live, as a people, you know, 'cause if we live to the principles and commandments, then we can't go wrong, right? If we don't, then we are in a wrong place. So we give thanks to the laws and commandments that's set by Father Moses. And I do give thanks for the Sabbath, because the Sabbath is the day of rest and gladness. You know, after 6 days work, you know, we have the Sabbath to rest up ourselves and give him thanks and praises for all that he has done for us during the 6 days. And he put aside this day for us to rest and refresh our goodie, you know, and straighten up ourselves again, doing meditation, doing praises, thanksgiving unto the Most High, you know. Yeah. So we give thanks, yeah, all words of upliftment today, you know, and all blessing from far eye, you know, see it. God is good at all times, you know, and he always straighten us within the right. So we as a people who know about the Sabbath day, because lots of people, you know, growing up and see church, Sabbath church still, and they try, but they don't really live it like how the Father has taught us how the Sabbath is to be kept, you know. And right now, even the Sabbath not even keeping like how when we did just come here. Yes. It's far from what we did come and see. But we give thanks still that, you know, it's still maintaining, but not what I did really come and see. You know, so we as a people, we have to look into ourselves, you know, and start to keep the Sabbath more holier. You understand? And more perfect and more, you know, thanksgiving and praises. You know, because there are lots of things that is happening now on the Sabbath. They never used to happen. You see, not even phone. But when we came, there was no phone still, but even now phone shouldn't be using. And certain things should be carrying on the Sabbath day. You see, all smoking and, you know, cursing and these things should be happening on the Sabbath day. So we need to look into it. And so said, sorry, the Sabbath day is a very serious day. It's life, right? And if we want long life, then we must keep the Sabbath holy, you know, right? So we give thanks, you know, for all words, you know, and testimonies from the priests them, you know, and the priests they must try to live, you know, live good, yeah. And it's only the Sabbath day, but they must try to set a principle, you know, see, because them are the priests, you know, who are go up on the altar and to teach the children them, teach the members them right from wrong, right? And if they are not manifesting themselves within the truths and right, then the congregation will fall aside. You see, so if the priests them, you know, they must look into themselves, how them conducting themselves too, as a priest, you know, by teaching the right, make the dirty clean, yeah, and the crooked straight, you know, uprightness one to another. So it's all on us, you know, but mostly on the priest and what carry the word from God, spirituality, yeah, to the congregation. You know, see it? So my Lord, I give thanks, you know, for this day. I give thanks for this reasoning. You know, see it and a lot. I learn, you know, and them say never too old to learn still. So I just a bless and I go through same way, you know, Thanksgiving, my Lord.
Yes, give
Holy
thanks.
Emmanuel, I Selassie, Jah.
Rastafari.
Rastafari, blessed love.
Yes, Mama, give thanks and praise Maisie for your word sound. Honorable Prophet Carlton, you have your hand up, my Lord. You can unmute and speak.
Blessed love. Everybody hear me well?
Yes, sir.
King Emmanuel the seventh. Adonai God, Jah.
Yeah.
Rastafari. Yes, give thanks, Empress Maisie, for the word sound, and all empresses, Empress Lily May, all priests and prophets also, for the words on the Sabbath they're going through. Like Daniel is posing the question of, it being our foundation. We can clearly see, that everything revolves around, the Sabbath principle for I and I. We have a chorus say, every day will be a Sabbath. It's also said that every day leading up to the Sabbath is like a preparation for the Sabbath, especially like Friday. We can't talk about the Sabbath without talking about the preparation for the Sabbath, which is important still. Empress Maisie pointed out there, say King Emmanuel, is the Lord of the Sabbath, just as described biblically. Christ say he is the Lord of the Sabbath, in Matthew 12, where in that instance at the same time, Jews were, kind of persecuting him for doing things on the Sabbath, which probably won't really happen, because him and his disciples were moving through, and his disciples were picking fruit, which was supposedly forbidden or frowned upon. Whereas, if the man were hungry, and it's Sabbath day, and they had no food, they probably seemed right to pick fruit. So in that chapter there, they were being persecuted in a sense for doing this, and Christ said to them, spoke to them about the Sabbath day and declared that, he is Lord even on the Sabbath day. And is it not good to do good on the Sabbath? And there's also, like Jack Clark mentioned, that there's whole heap of verses to talk about the Sabbath. We can't really go into everyone biblically right now. I don't think ever really, but we have to look at important ones. And there's a lot really that kind of look at the Sabbath in a way that, we can't judge each other for keeping it or not keeping it, and these kind of things there are for what you do on it. It's like a personal covenant at the same time, and we must, be careful not to fall into that trap of, thinking that we are greater than anybody else just for remembering the Sabbath and observing it, at the same time, we know the powers it would give to us personally, so it comes across, a way, there's the instance, for example, biblically, where the rich man came to Christ and, said, well, he's doing everything right. He's a good man and he's keeping all the commandments, including the Sabbath. And, what is it he can do to have eternal life? And Christ said, sell everything and give it to the poor and follow him. And he was vexed, so Christ now, is the Lord of the Sabbath, so really and truly is not is not about the day as such. It's about King Emmanuel VII, and as he is Lord of the Sabbath now, he shows us these principles and we stick to them as a perfect day, perfection, and these things that we try striving for it. But we are getting better. Give thanks for what King Emmanuel had showed us in the day. We are trying to get better, like the Empress said. We could do a lot better, and we are hoping and praying for that. But at the same time, there's the works of King Emmanuel, I won't say extends beyond the Sabbath, but it's ever going on, So we mustn't get stuck up into that zone of thinking we are higher or showing off, for keeping certain principles, not just the Sabbath day, my Lord and Empress. So I hope everyone gets my point. Give thanks for the reasoning going forward, my Lord and Empress. Love in the house.
Yes, God. Give thanks to your Carlton.
Listen.
Honorable.
My Lord. May I?
Yes, go through, my Lord.
Yeah, Priest Stuart here. Listen, brethren. No, not you, Peter. We not condemn no one or praise no one who don't keep the Sabbath. It's to our one's own detriment when him don't keep it. You understand? Because the Sabbath no care who no keep it from who no keep it. The ones them the soul will line up, get the blessing. The soul them don't line up, don't receive the blessing. I know it's not a matter of one of the greatest things me keep to my bosom, or closest to my bosom, what King Emmanuel tell me say. Him say when you see fire a burn arm and foot, get a bucket of water and cool my foot. Him say cool here, make sure your foot cool. So we not really get hung up and who nah keep it from who not. Cause to your own, you only heap up fire coal for your own head. Who no want to keep it. You understand? So I don't like say man a condemn man or man a show up a man who keep. I just who keep the Sabbath day get the blessing and who don't keep it don't get the blessing. I just say go. That's it. Love.
My Lord.
Can I ask a question, please? Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go through. Yes, sir.
I'm asking this question to everyone on this platform. Does you see in yourself where the Sabbath day is kept in perfectly amongst yourself? Like what the Father said to keep? My Lord? All right. Give thanks.
Yeah. Oh, yes and no.
Jordan.
Yes, my Lord.
Yesterday, the 14th day.
Yes, sir. Priest Dougie.
Yeah. We're going with this. Stand.
In the habit, man. Peter.
Go ahead, Priest.
Removing the phone, please. Please remove the
it.
phone so we can hear the other.
I got it in place. Give thanks.
Yes, I give thanks. Keeping up the Sabbath, is a principle that makes Bobo Shanti who Bobo Shanti is. That's the core of I being. Taking the day off, give reverence to self, to the inner God, and to the ancestors, all of the deities that paved the way that I could be here today, reasoning one to another. But the greatest thing, the man teacher is the love, is the love how we live. And that's how we're lacking. We can talk the pretty principles and we can quote the principles and the rhetoric and that's all of their schoolroom can quote it. But it's the livity, is in the livity, how people live together, how we coexist. Are you your brother's keeper? Are you your sister's keeper? Are we the family of Christ? As the Father teach we. See, these are the things that the Sabbath is supposed to bring home. When you take that moment, to seat up. Apart from the praises, when you sit in and you feed up yourself and you sit for now and reflect, you reflect on the strong that gone, the 7 days, the 6 days that gone, and what you have done, and you reflect on, any interaction with your brothers and sisters to make sure say all interaction was up and above board, that you treated your brother and sister as you'd have someone treat you, That is where the Sabbath, the power of the Sabbath is. It restores the love. It restores the compassion, It is not something for all over a man's head like a tool and it's not a merit badge, Nothing you do on the Sabbath now help I. Every time I have to sit down on its own bottom and everyone have to interpret their own salvation. See, we have had help through our Father, King Emmanuel, come teach we, the black salvation, what it's all about, versus what we were taught out there. See, but all of it revolve around this day, the food of 7, the Sabbath day, the food of 7. That very powerful moment when we get to commune together. You get to commune together as a family and a community. And you get to break bread, you get to give praises in unison, in that oneness. So all of that happens on the Sabbath. Who would have something wrong with that? Who would I think that's a win-win-win for anyone. You know, you get to rest, reflect, commune, you know, you get to give praises all in one day, you know. Yeah, so we give thanks.
So, as it said, God made the Sabbath for man and not man for the Sabbath, you know. So, you know, we understand that it's not really a dogmatic thing where, you know, even though the Ten Commandments says that anyone who doesn't keep it shall be put to death, we're not looking at it like, you know, you are less of a person or you're not as good a person if you don't keep it every Sabbath. You try your best, you know, and maybe somebody needs help on the Sabbath day, so you help them, you know, and you know there's not going to be no punishment because you went and did something good, you know. But as the priest said, it helps. It's your blessing if you keep it. If you don't, then you just, you know, you don't get what was there for you from the beginning of time, you know. And I remember when we did the topic was Black supremacy and righteousness of salvation. I asked Priest Danny, what is the purpose of Nyabingi? And he said, really is to keep us gummy, you know, the fellowship, to keep us, you know, together. So as the priest was just reasoning, you know, with, you know, the service order in the tabernacle together should help us to live better every day beyond the Sabbath, not just on the Sabbath. So, you know, I feel like even keeping the Sabbath, right, but not living properly Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and, you know, Friday is almost like vanity, you know, because if you attend service and, you know, you're always present, but then after the service is done, you go and live, you know, contrary to whatever it is that is preached or ministered on the Sabbath, then it's you're really doing it for, you know, are you doing it for show or for entertainment? Because if it's not building you're building yourself to be a better person, then what is it really serving you at all? You know? Mm-hmm. Anyway, you know, to continue the reason.
Trevor, turn the mic, my lad.
Yeah. And so I would like to ask now, you know, for the elders, but anyone still start with the elders and those even in the camp to really outline, you know, what is it that we are to do, what we're not to do on the Sabbath day, you know, definitively, because it's like, for me, I'm not in a camp, so there's certain things I wouldn't be able to do. But what are the things that one could do, you know, wherever they may be, to hold a Sabbath principle and build themselves on the Sabbath? You know, as far as like the preparation and on the actual Sabbath day, what some good things that people could do to build themselves. And anyone, you know, like I said, I'm asking the elders to speak first, but the floor is open for anyone.
One can read and reflect. It's a moment of reflection. Read, you know, because read is always edifying. Whether you want to read the Bible or other good books, as the sages of old say, read and edify yourself. You know,
like any particular type of books.
Spiritual books. You would want to read about architecture or fixing a car on that day. You know, you want to read something that is more spiritually uplifting and enlightening. You know, so you have all kinds of books that you can read. You know, all kinds of Black authors out there that have written some great books. And from the Kebra Negras, the Faith and Negras, the Ethiopian Book of the Light. Yeah, but whole heap of books, you know, the whole PB, all of them empower you with knowledge. Seeing so. Ones can read and edify themselves. You can read on books on Africa, you know, the fullness of trying to learn the cultures and the politics of the different states, you know, edifying yourself. So when the time comes and you're within that position, you're a little more knowledgeable. You know, for the prolific writers, you know, they can be inspired to write some great choruses and some great hymns, you know, from a, you know, I and I liberty point of view, you know, from I and I ceremonial moments, and from I liberation as well, because it take all of that, to be the fullness, It's the ceremonial order on the Sabbath, the solemn moment. But then there's time when we have to chant down Babylon. So the up-tempered moment is there as well. So ones can edify themselves in those ways, coming up with our expression of our liberty. See, so it's a moment to develop oneself in all ways, and I don't think there's a greater way to express it. If you're not in a tabernacle environment where you're going to go give praises, when the best would be to, as the Empress said, within your quarters, within your personal space, set a vibe, say every Friday you set a vibe that is different from the other 6-day vibes, and throughout that 7 day, you search for that food of 7, that empowerment of knowledge, because that is what knowledge is there for, to empower us, and help to rise us to our greatest potential as a people, and we need that right now in our struggle for reclaim and retake our mother continent. Yes, sir.
Thanks, my Lord. Empress
Yes,
Lily,
my Lord.
Empress Lily had her hand raised, and then we'll
Honorable, blessed love.
my Lord had her hand raised. We'll call on the item.
Come on, unraise. All right, I will wait.
Yeah, you'll be after Empress Maisie, and then.
All right. All right, my Lord.
Glorify.
Bless the love to everyone.
Blessed.
I would like to ask a question. You come to Almighty God, you love His commandments, His precepts, and you're trying to do His commandments, you're trying to live right. Everyone knows the Sabbath day.
I can't hear the Empress.
Yeah, man. I thought it wasn't one.
Blessed love. You hear me now?
Yes, better.
I would like to ask a question, especially to the elders. Okay? You walk with King Emmanuel how much years? And he teaching you. You're trying to live to his laws and commandments. You know, only Christ perfect. Like Pisagaro say, we ain't far from it. He told me that in the Bahamas. And if you live into your commandments and love him and love your brother and your sister, and you kind of trying to do everything, it's only Christ perfect. It's not to be exalted, but you have to believe in yourself too. So no one can tell me personally, that I ain't on the glory road, and I ain't exalting myself, but I try to lift it. Especially since I come to Ethiopia. It's the best I ever keep my Sabbath, because I doing how Jah want to keep the Sabbath. You don't see no one, you don't have no people talking. I come home, especially try to keep my Sabbath holy, because only time I keep my Sabbath holy is, I think, is when I go Psalms reading, go service, and then come back home. And you understand me? But to have that solitude with you and God on Sabbath, every Sabbath ain't gonna be the same, like I said. You understand me? But one can't tell me, say, I ain't on the glory road and I ain't see myself that I doing some good, or like just say, he's not going to forsake us. You understand me? Maybe go on the other side of Jordan. I'm working for that on the Sabbath day. You understand me? So I don't want to think they may exalt up myself, but I know I there a standard. You understand me? And I feel like when people going like, you can't reach certain standard and like you're exalting up yourself. I only can talk about myself and how I live, and I try and live better and better and better and better and do more commandments and ask for forgiveness, and and ask God have mercy upon me. But I ain't gonna look at myself no least like I joking or I skidding. No, I trying to live up standard that when I close my eyes, and just hold my soul, I'll be a ransom soul for him. And I give thanks for each and every one, and everyone has a different standard. Everyone have a personal relationship with their God. So you carrying God your way, you're free. If you don't want to look upon yourself as being 3/4 holy, you know, and no say you try to do your commandments, you know. You can't tell people that like you exalt me yourself or you feel like you better than people or no, you know where you is with your God. And God live in a man and woman, and you could call your God you and talk your God and see your God. And you understand me? Some people don't see that and don't know that, but knows it. You understand me? Like another 6 days work is done.
Yes, sir.
The joy that sweet propose from Zion, man. And when you know, say, when you lay in your bed upon your 6th day, man, it's a different day. So please forgive me if I rant and rage, but I don't want to when we as elders talking like we get exalted up ourselves or we take like we better no one. You understand me? It's what you live, you get and repay your works. And God, man. Understand me?
Yes, I.
Thanks for
So,
that, bro.
I think it's a matter of comparing yourself to others as opposed to just comparing yourself to who you used to be and seeing how you grow and be a better person. Not better than anyone, but just better than you used to be, better than yesterday.
right,
Mhm.
my Lord.
Yes, I.
And the higher we go, we become, we now have a duty to elevate our brothers and sisters.
Yes,
It's
sir.
not that merit badge thing. It's not that beating of the chest to say how long this or how long that and how long my locks is and all of this thing. It's about the duty to be thy brother's keeper. So to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
as we elevate, as we find joy in ourselves and that great consciousness, we are now duty bound to teach, to share, you know, to be there for one another, to strengthen one another, you know, and to elevate one another, not to condemn and beat down. You know, they are the stern disciples who just want to beat down, you know, and they are good at beating down, but them can't build up nothing. Is the disciple now who know that you catch more with the honey, but the honey is the love, you know. You catch more with the love. The more love you share, is the greater you become, and it's the greater you make people around you become. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Give thanks, my Lord. Empress Maisie, you ready?
Yes, my Lord, give thanks again, you know. You see, look into this, our lives. Every man have to save themselves, right? And every man and woman, the Father say, you know, every tub have to sit on his own bottom in a seat. And remember now, the life you live, right? And that I go prove you who you are. You see, a word and works goes together. You know, see, and we can get up and we can talk because we can talk, but we have to have the word to go with it.
Holy.
You know, understand? So it's work and words goes together in this life. Yeah. When we are in the tabernacle, we see the praise is more stronger. Like the man say, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. You see? So when we are in there, we're making a joyful noise, you know, we're worshiping the Almighty for all that He has done for us. You see? So when the oneness that we have into the tabernacle, when we get out of the tabernacle and say, blessed Lord, we must have that oneness same way.
True.
But we are happy in the tabernacle. And when we go outside, is a different problem. You know, see. So that joy that we felt amongst ourselves, when we leave the tabernacle, it is gone or still there, but not as strong as it was into the tabernacle. Let's see. We can't judge no one. And the Father said, judge no one and let no one judge you.
True.
Right? Every woman, every man, every woman have to look into their lives to see how them live. You know, see. They get in the teaching, you know, how to live. So you have to see the manifestation. And is that going to prove you in this last judgment?
Surely.
You know? So my beloved, let me tell you something. I am in America here for the past 8 months, right? And my Sabbath, it coming like me there yard, you know, seeing. Because I know say when Thursday, we start to get my little something. Prepare my little something. You know, see, Friday, me know, so me have it ready. Sabbath Eve, me get myself ready. Me have my little white for sure. Say, yes, the remembrance of the Sabbath. You know, see, wherever you are, you can keep, you might not can make a joyful noise into the tabernacle with your brothers and sisters, but you can maintain it to the fullness into your space. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you might live with people. Those people don't know nothing about the Sabbath, but you did with this keeping the Sabbath. But you cannot keep it as full as you know it should keep. But still, the Father said, the least you do is precious in His sight. You see, so you have to be conscious, you know about the Sabbath, you know about the commandment, you know about the teaching of the Black Christ and the way forward, right? The commandments, right? So you have to try your best, to live it. This the best way to you or to your space where you have. You don't have a house for yourself. You have to be living with, relatives and so on and so on. But out of that, you can live the best way or you can. And the Father will accept. Time said, the least you do is precious in His sight. So my brothers and my sisters, I didn't live it you. And no matter where you are, or you could have even in Ethiopia, however you're there in Africa, from you're not live right, you're not seeing the Mount of Zion. You're not going to be there. You know, see. So you just have to continue on the liberty of the Black Christ teaching. Yeah, and the way forward. Zion is our home and Ethiopians going home. Yeah. So I give thanks again for this study group, Yeah, and give thanks for the reasoning. It is a blessing, it is edifying, it is strength, it is love. Remember, love conquer all. Most High, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
All right. Give thanks and praise.
Give thanks to the balance, man. The balance reasoning coming from the two empresses, the two elders. We don't take it light, Two great messages given to I and I, and I am reading in between the lines and I'm reading the lines as well. So I give thanks for those messages, empresses, my Lord.
Give thanks for everyone's contribution. Same way. Honorable Priest Chris, the eye is still there, my Lord.
Honorable. Yes, my Lord, give thanks. An Empress. Yeah, give thanks. This is the EABIC, Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. Give thanks for the leader, President God and King, the Black Christ, Most Right Honorable King Emmanuel Charles Edward, as defined, Melchizedek as defined in Hebrews chapter 7, in the Constitution. I give thanks to each and every one, give thanks for the reasoning, now make it tall, Give thanks to the reason and everything, and I glorify on the topic of the Sabbath and, and such now. Well, yesterday's Sabbath we glorify for the morning, the Friday evening to the morning to the evening service. Give thanks to the priests, them that minister the prophets, that strengthen the holy duties. Congregation, Empress, Prince and Princess, all loved one from, near and far, And I give thanks to the international, members also. As the man say, not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy saint that is in the earth, So and I give thanks, give glory and honor. So glory and honor to each and every one. Still, one of the questions when I did come in was what a one could do to keep a Sabbath or strengthen the Sabbath or live a better Sabbath. Remember that first question?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Yeah. I one of my answer to that also, maybe it's not everyone can travel at the moment, knowing all the traveling thing going international, but I one can fly come down for a Sabbath. Just like how I want fly go to Toronto or Orlando for Disney. or I want fly go over there so if you do that. I have my money and me can fly. I know we another big money, sometimes Spirit Airline that are cheap. And we know the whole thing. A man can fly down and come keep a Sabbath and strengthen the tabernacle. Because where the Empress say, when I want in the service, it's a different sabbatical joy than just without that binding of love, that eating from the one table, that togetherness, that Nyabingi Gominis that we hear talk about also, and all of this thing. And many priests is there too. They can come down and come be a part of the ministry. Because it was their ministry from creation and it's still there now. There's now. Can strengthen it. We can do that. Because we have brethren and sisters who leave from one state, fly up to another, 3-4 state, and pay a airplane or a Greyhound. I don't know if Greyhound still is there now, still, you know, but and pay a bus fare and
Still
even drive.
Still did it.
And even drive all through, you know. And yeah, that is a good thing where our brethren could do. Because when we in the world, we fly go all stage show party, anywhere for there, we reach there. Whether we leave out with funds, and I know flying thing different than just in island, in country. But that is a good answer to strengthen the Sabbath. Could I know say come and pass through. As a priest Knuckles did say one time, them check Jah, ask Jah about service, and just say, well, man, them could have gather a little house gathering, but when I want the service, the tabernacle is down here. So that is a great part we could have strengthened. And you know, say the foundation set for bridging coming in and going. We know of some little tribulation, wind, storm that it blow a time and a time span, you know. But the foundation is still here, bridging is still here, young ones is here, same with elders, and the order is still trying to keep up and maintain. That is, I believe, I know it's that is also one of the a good thing we could have strengthened the Sabbath. See? And also on the topic of the Sabbath, since we're on it, the study group topic of the Sabbath. Firstly, this just come Empress Maisie, Empress Lily, blessed love, art of
My
love,
Lord.
and glorify the Empresses. Empress Lily is a long time I don't hear from you, but I glorify hearing you, you know, representing at all time.
Blessed love, my Lord.
Blessed love, and blessed. Yeah, the Sabbath is it's the principle that we come to the camp, come learn. When I come learn some Sabbath principle I never know. I never grew up into a Sabbath home. I grew up with the teaching that when Christ was hung to the cross, Sabbath and all these laws and principles were torn away. That was the teaching out there. See, and when I just start to get a consciousness of Sabbath, I go and buy a piece of cloth, a black cloth, and wrap it around me. And part of me temple is showing, and part wrap around like an African wrap up, like what you see they do in Ghana. And you see some of the man them shoulder out and like half of them top out and them with it. But now, the perfection where we're at now, moving on ahead to a better standard is we are in full white. I myself in full white turban, white shirt, white. And sometimes, to tell you the truth, I do take a draw on the Sabbath because sometimes it's like my temper feel. But there is a principle that we read at the roll call, say no smoking after 10. And we, in truth, we observing that. I tell you, you have some brethren take a smoke, I already do it already myself. But there, that principle is a principle that we read and we're keeping it. And whether we keep it or not, we hold it and know, say, it's a principle of the Sabbath also. And we come see it set in the foundation where the high priest Melchizedek set. So I have no fault with it. That is one of the principles where I never know. And I see it and I love it. Tell you the truth. Going to the tabernacle is a joy on the Sabbath. Biggest joy. Especially, you know, you live clean and upright, and you are going to minister the food of seven, be a part of the food of seven ministry. And the greatest joy an angel could find, knowing, say, the oracle of God that come out of his mouth. Yesterday Sabbath, James chapter 1 read, and in the evening, James 2. And one of them telling you about a double mind. That means if we know this and come live it and then leave and start to be doubting, and it's like we are double mind. Hold fast to a Jah teach, because Jah is sure. When one of the brethren did come visit the camp, I think is Bragwad Singer, one of those brethren from the UN representative, him tell the congregation, say, follow this man, just be obedient to the car, he will get us where we want. So for Africa, we are deal with, say the man will forget us where we want. And the Sabbath is an essential part of Jah settings. Some people say a Tuesday, some say a Wednesday, some say a Sunday, but Jah, our leader, president, God and King, say is Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. And him also bring us to a double Sabbath to line up with Ethiopia. So we must not forget that also. A double Sabbath that we keep on Good Friday everywhere, we observe it. That is a regular, that's a every Friday thing. That is a thing where Jah bring to us for us to. Because one Sabbath so nice, so him do it twice. And give it twice a joy, twice a rest in that same sabbatical meditation mood. So I have to just hold fast and a draw away. If we were doing that, because sometimes we slip up. I slip up many times. I'm Virgin have to pull me up. I'm a graciously, me give thanks. That's where the hymn say, gracious, compassionate, mercy brought him from mansions above. You know, say every hymns and chorus sing about up here in the camp here and Africa, between Africa and here. Because you have a hymn where say, shall we gather at the river? That was sing yesterday evening. Shall we gather at the river? And we have a gathering ground right here at a river right down there that I am looking at the riverbed now. And that tell us a flown by the throne of God. And that riverbed where I look now, it flows by it. It run by the throne of God, which is on the hill here.
Yes,
Okay, I don't want to take up all the time.
My Lord, a question, Priest Chris.
Yes, Empress.
We need to get it clear. You mentioned the double Sabbath, right? Which we know say every Good Friday we have the Sabbath. Even though after the morning break, 12 o'clock, fasting and thing, we went and we do our little tidying up and thing. I remember in the Sabbath, do nothing. There's no tidying up and thing on this Saturday, right? Sure. But after the 12 o'clock, we do our little tidying up, right?
Yeah, sure.
You mentioned the double Sabbath, like say, we do that on Friday, but to me, honestly, we could look on the Friday with the double Sabbath because we do everything same way until the time come for us to break off. So I will put the Friday with the Sabbath because the Sabbath days are kept holy. But the Friday, my Lord, cooking, cleaning, sweeping, and everything go on the Friday. So how could we put the Sabbath, the Friday with the Sabbath? If if we are going to say kept the double Sabbath, we make sure say we have to do everything from Thursday. And so the Friday is kept like the Sabbath. That is my opinion still. Stand to correct it, my Lord. Give thanks.
All right. Give thanks. All right, what Joshua way? What we keep Good Friday? What Jah call it? A double Sabbath? Is it a double Sabbath? That is how with current terms it is called?
Well, we say in the morning we have black over white every Friday morning. And after that finished, now we went and we do our thing.
But
double
double
Sabbath is the
say?
Sabbath where I know say every Good Friday. For me come my yard, may I just say a double Sabbath.
Then that's why we are talking. That is what I am talking about, Empress.
Oh,
that is what,
Uncle Pretty. I did double Sabbath for Good Friday you're talking.
Eh?
I did double Sabbath for Good Friday you're talking.
Yes, that should keep every Sabbath, every Friday to Sabbath. That is what I'm talking. That is what Joshua with. I would just talk about me. I would just show me talking or nothing new. Him give us a break, so we break, take the break, tidy up this, that, and set again. That is it. Then it we keep when it's Good Friday, we keep a double Sabbath, Resurrection Friday.
My lord. I'm not going to debate. Right? Just ask a question.
Nando, yeah. Yeah. Yes, Honorable Empress. It's the same thing I was saying. It's nothing new. The same way how we go to service in the Friday morning, and when we break at 12, then we tidy up back again and the sip at the kitchen, warm up, and that's the same thing. I just set it that way. Just implement, bring it in that format. So we just follow the same format. But it's called a double Sabbath. That's what it is called. But what is now is the same whites we're going to wear whites, full white, and the same Friday sunset going up because Jah never changed that. That is what I was saying still.
At the old times, Ananda?
Yeah, no man, the prophet from Mobile. Yeah, Jah never changed that.
My lord, do not have to construct, I'm not talking the team member, I know we are on worldwide, right?
I did
mute the phone when speaking, please.
Yeah, so I am on the floor. Give thanks. I am sorry about that. I got near the bridge in them. All right, what I'm saying now, that is the same format we are speak upon. Who cannot adjust to it right away? No problem. There is no condemnation. Because when a person starts to grow in salvation, him have a point where him start and have a point where him grow into. So everyone deserve a growing chance and ability. You see? But who can? But the Sabbath is essential and just shows off the Sabbath. So it's not like, them could have sway with mind, because the prophecy tell you that there will be someone come who will think to change time and laws. And we know all of them heap of the works and so.
Yes, my Lord. Give thanks, priest.
So the Sabbath is. So I give thanks, my Lord and Empress.
Yeah, my Lord. Give thanks for the word of God. Empress Maisie, you get a clearance on what your question?
My Lord, quite understand, my Lord. I was just I quite understand, Bobo.
Right.
Yeah. Even Empress, even upon the judge part, I hear say, no, are we for judge one another, Empress? But we have to judge according to what we see and know. If something happened with me and a virgin on the Broomfield in front of a couple virgin, we have to go take it to the officer and judge the matter and tell me say I'm wrong. And I can say, yes, my Lord, I'm wrong.
So my Lord, pray Jack Chris. Is that part in the Bible? The Bible said, judge no man and let no man judge you. God is the biggest judge here. God is the judge that we are talking about. Let him judge us.
Yeah, and also you have a teaching in the scripture where Christ said, oh, take ye, brothers take brothers to court and to be judged by unjustness. Didn't you know that the saint will judge the earth? So who is the saint? We must judge amongst ourselves, but we must judge justly.
Yes, I. Well, all
right, my Lord, give thanks,
Give thanks, Honorable, and you know, we're moving forward still. We still have the empresses to present their, you know, the findings of their studies regarding health. You know, we'll give them a few moments. Before we get into that, there was still just kind of, you know, would like to seal up the reasoning on the Sabbath still. The preparation for the Sabbath, nobody really kind of touch on that. I was hoping someone would kind of give more detail as to what it is you need to do to prepare yourself for the Sabbath, so that you don't have to work, so you don't have work and you don't have things in your face that you didn't, you know, seal up, like, you know, distracting your meditation. So you're not thinking about working and all of that stuff. If someone could give a clearance on that, and then we'll, you know, seal up this discussion about the Sabbath day.
I let the priest them do
like,
it,
you know,
just of the preparation to Sabbath, how we want to go about it.
Priest Dougie, were you going to say something about that?
Yeah, well, the natural aspect of progression would be to prepare before the hour. You know, that means say you prepare your surroundings, you prepare your gates, you know, you prepare your robe if you're a robe, because, you know, and you're going to the tabernacle. Make sure say your white robe and your white turban, you know, is spotless. You know, you prepare your Sabbath food, as no fire don't catch on that day there. You know, you prepare your gates in general, you know, prepare your mental as well. You know, so when 6 o'clock come in, you're supposed to be calm and relax and into that solemn feeling, you know, where you start to you start to reflect, you know, you start to do some introspection and reflect on your past week and the works that you go through and what you can do better and what you learn from it and so forth and so on. Prepare your mind, cleanse your mind, you know, to the point where now you start to meditate upon the Creator and the blessings that come with the day. God, that's how the blessing come upon that day, you know, the food of 7. You know, we are reflecting on the Creator and all His greatness and all the blessings that He has bestowed, you know, and giving thanks for it. You know, that's in a nutshell, you know.
Yeah. When you say, can you, I mean, a little bit more detail when you say prepare your room and prepare your food, and kind of, you know, if you're speaking to a broad demographic, you know, some people know, some people don't know. So if you could, you know, make it as plain as possible, my Lord, help people to understand how they can set themselves to have a good Sabbath.
Well, for anyone, you know, find that place in a white, you know, them way there, because it's that day, it's a pure day, it's a day of purity. So, you know, kind of for I and I, that's not within a tabernacle setting, and I would have changed with tablecloth, you know, make sure so we have a white tablecloth, everything kind of more in white. You make sure so your floors are clean, all your tools are put away, all your, you know, your brooms and all of them things they put away. You don't do them work there already leading up to the Sabbath. You done wipe your floor, sweep your floor, wipe your floor, disinfect your place, prepare your bathroom, your restroom, you know, you prepare your room, you know, you get your what you want to read on that day, since you're not in the tabernacle setting, you know, or what you want to meditate upon that day. You get all of that prepared, you know. Again, you prepare the kind of food that can stay for a day within the, you know, the heat system that you live, you know. So for I and I, you know, we usually have we bakings, and you know, if you eat fish, you know, you have your scale and you know, your pudding, your fried dumpling, your fried breadfruit, you know, all the things that can last you throughout that day. Now we kind of, at my age, I kind of ease off the fried thing, kind of rough on the digestive system. So it's more bakings and them things that I'm on deal with, and you know, fruits and them things upon the day. See? So that would be the kind of preparation we're talking about. You know, in a camp setting, it's different. In a camp setting, you bake on Thursday, you bake up the shoe bread, you know, the Sabbath bread, and you know, make all the Sabbath preparations leading up to Friday now, when you distribute it now to the members. So every man have a little container of Sabbath food for the Sabbath and so forth. See, again, your house have to clean them days that we used to red oak with floor. So we used to dead down on our knees. Sometimes come off of the road, just, go hustle or go pick up Sabbath food and rush in the Friday before the hour, and you're down on your knees and shine it up, you put on your red oak and shine it up, make sure it's shiny, you can tie all your turban in it. You can just look in it and the way it's shiny, you can see the reflection and tie all your turban. See, you get your place nice, put on your white sheet and your white table cloth. If you have white curtain, you just get your place together, bring in the vibe there, make it a special moment, because it's supposed to be a special moment every week. Yes, my love.
My Lord. Yes, I. Yeah. So it's like a holiday, a holy day every week, that we look forward to. Yes, I. So, yes, I give thanks, just to make it clear for anyone who didn't know already how they can, prepare themselves and have a good Sabbath.
Angelic man, Sabbath.
And during the Sabbath.
Beautiful.
And what kind of things,
You see, my Lord Daniel?
Hold on, Empress.
You see?
1 second.
The beauty of it and the feelings of it, my Lord, is when your house, your dwelling place clean, as the priest said. And your floor and shine, and your mat them clean, and your bedspread them clean and white. Your pillow case white, your curtain white, your dial upon whatever you have, cover over with white, I tell you. It's give you an elegant feeling, man, an angelic feeling. And so you are so ready, and then when you finish and you fresh up yourself, your yard sweep, your whole surrounding is very clean. And then you go now and you fresh up yourself beautifully and put on your whites. You say, yes, I am. Bringing in the Sabbath, calm and collective and nice. You have a blessed day. But you see, if your yard not clean and your house not clean, your Sabbath no clean, no. Your Sabbath no clean. Yeah. Your Sabbath not clean. Yeah, man. So, yeah, but you forget that cleanliness and that holiness and that spirituality. Yeah. Get your garments ready. Press it to, man. Me no better go wash it and chop on the line and then put it on and go. It's not nice when you wash your whites beautifully white and then you press it, man. Hey, and we are step down and we are got service, me I tell you. Those days are beautiful. Even now. Yeah, man. And you're going to your tabernacle and you start to sing praises unto the Almighty God from your bottom of your heart, coming from your belly right up, man. Beautiful. You feel so nice, so blessed, so divine, so sweet, so lovely. Everything is lovely. Give thanks, my Lord.
Yes, mama. Yes, mama. Yes, mama. We know about the white man.
Blessed. Honorable.
Yes, I.
I even remember when I first came here, no line, the clothesline, even the clothesline did roll up.
Yeah, man, I say one.
Understand? No tool, no kind of tool is visible anywhere. No saw, no working tool, no visible nowhere.
Don't remind. Nothing is there to remind you of
none is there to remind you of work. The line then where you hang your clothes, even that take down and roll up. Remember them vibes.
What work we have to do
to
get back.
I remember when I first started come here, 3 o'clock, every morning and them whites and sit down and ready. Everything ready. 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock Friday.
Yes, I.
The preparation was very important, that preparation during the time of preparing for the Sabbath, when you go through the whole camp, everyone in a preparation mode,
Yes,
and
man, busy.
And light. No, but no cast, no, like that. It just light. That moment they always light and together. Yeah, look, me need little salt from you. You have any pepper, and everybody I try to get them things together.
Island thing.
Yes, man, you try to get your thing right together, right down to the last moment, man. So you can ready by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so you can out fire and you can make sure say everything in order. The preparation was part.
And the final touch, Jadogi, the final touch, you peel up your orange, and you sew up your herb, and you make up your kite.
Yes, you make a kite them.
You clean the lampshade. you know, and you throw your cursing aisle. Because if you don't clean the lampshade, you know, you see the aisle, a dirty light that you're going to get, you know, because you can't see because the lampshade dirty. So you have to clean up the lampshade.
Yeah. And then the giant, and then and then the feeling of Mount Zion start come over the earth.
Yes, I.
Yes, quietness, holy quietness.
That preparation lead up to that quietness. So they them a talk about right then now. That quietness like 15 minutes before 6. That quietness will come over the place, Aya.
Yes, if the seed is rough.
Oh gosh, man. And you just
if the seed
feel
is rough.
feeling.
No, this is a thing that I noticed. Honorable, just 1 second.
Yes.
This is a thing that I noticed, right? The sea could be rough during the day. And you could step on the hill and hear the water flash against the shores and say, yes, boy, the sea rough, because you can see the wave then. But you see, as the 5:30 coming in, Bobo, the sea is so, I used to talk to my children them about it, because where I was situated, I could see the sea. And I said to them, say, wow, look at it, even the sea. Know that it is Sabbath day.
Right.
If the breeze is blowing rough, it get calm. And everything is so calm going into the Sabbath. Why mankind cannot be so ready for the Sabbath day? Eh? Why they can't? I used to say,
Blessed angel.
yeah, I observed that.
Blessed angel.
I observed that.
I'm gonna find it same way right now when on the course when I'm there, no mama. Me say every time it comes down to Friday evening, the place just get quiet and nice. The sea just get peaceful and nice.
Blessed angels, blessed angels, when are we coming forward to that holy calm? Angels, when are we coming forward to that holy calm? The more we are together, the happier we shall be.
For sure, Dada. For sure. Don't worry, man. It's coming. It's coming. I feel it in my bone that it's coming.
All right, mama. All right, mama.
Like them saying a recently, like them saying, build it, they will come, you know. Prepare it. We'll come here. We'll come. Just go and prepare.
All right, the angel. All right, the angel. Me there I wait. Me there I wait.
Yes, family. I have one more aspect that I wanted to seal up before we finish up the topic still. During the Sabbath, what besides work, what other type of things is one not supposed to do?
Your meds have to keep on a level. You don't want to meditate. You don't want to meditate about nothing worldly on. Not from out of what did go on last week with you and a man, or with you and an empress, or you know, who did owe you and who never owe you, and who did make you feel upset and who never make you feel. Within that moment, you want to shed all of that before that hour they come. You want to go on the Sabbath.
Yeah, you don't want that kind of discussion. You know, you don't want going to the Sabbath with ignorance and darkness. You want to go into the Sabbath with light and joy and fulfilling, ready for your Sabbath. But if you don't clear, that's why the man say, if you have a problem with your brother or your sister, clear it up before the Sabbath. Clear it up, oh. Go to him and say XYZ, apologize, whatever. But don't, especially if you're a priest and you're going to go up on the altar there, then the food where you're going to minister not nice. It's going to be a not nice food to the congregation. Because when me down there, you have a problem, and you up there, me down there, me go say, watch him now. You hear my chat say, and him not all right with me. Look when do me. You see? So it's best to clear it up, my lord.
Yeah, give thanks, Empress.
Oh, clear it up. Give thanks, my Lord and Empress. Cho. When I come to the camp here, I hear the word they say, the elder them say, just say the beginning preparation for the Sabbath start as the Sabbath come down. And everyone turn to the broom field. On a universal level, everyone turn where? To the broom field. That means that the broom field start produce something for the brethren them go sell broom Sunday, because the preparation of the universal Sabbath I show now. So it start there. And also, as the Sabbath come down, a man can reflect, and a woman reflecting at themselves, what did make me late, or what did make me err, or what did make me aspire more. And all the meds on into the coming week, knowing said the Sabbath coming up, they have a perfect that. So the coming down of the Sabbath is a great preparation for the next Sabbath coming up, right?
Yeah, because you're going to say, what do you reach you last week and now make it reach you this week. So you're going to forge your head. You're going to forge your head, my Lord.
Give thanks,
see it and get things done better, earlier.
Improve the day that God has blessed. So we are reflect how we are going to improve the next coming one.
Yes.
Guys, sure to come in now.
My Lord, let me say this, please.
Yeah.
You see, like how we are reasoning here now. I don't want it to be fruitful for. I want it to manifest. Yeah, we don't want to come up on this program and just talk because we can talk. We have to have the work to go with the talk, to give it a balance.
Well, I heard you say that already. Still, I give thanks you're bringing it again. But remember, I'm an Empress at the work where I live, you know. I don't like we are going to just start.
Not you alone. It's not. It's a universally work, my Lord. It's a universally work. Yeah?
I'm talking universal. I could just play where I play around. Universal talk. Everyone on the forum supposed to live where I live something. Improve where I going to improve on what we live in.
Yes,
improve the day
what
that
we are
God
talking. Improve on what we are talking.
Yes,
give thanks, my Lord. Glorify majesty. Not take up much time.
We're not supposed to engage in sexual activity with our spouse, correct?
No, that not engage. I hold them principle from before I come a God yard. Them time them not have on a turban yet, but me I hold them principle. Them principle is a holy day. You leave that out.
All right. So
yeah.
What was the question?
What was
the question? What was the question?
No romantics. No romantics or Afromantics on that day, you know?
Man, that's
easy.
Afromantic and a romantic, Afromantic and a romantic.
Yeah, so no cooking, no cooking, no cleaning,
no clogging, right? No clogging, Bobo.
It go down to even more than that, you know. It go down to no loud talking, no voices raised on the day there, no running up and down on the day there. That day there is a solemn day. That means that even the children supposed to have that solemn feeling where them know say between certain time, no run up and down. After 3-4 o'clock now, you can't really stop you. Them energy are boss. So you have an understanding. But you see that whole from 6 o'clock to afternoon in the Sabbath there, even the children supposed to be subdued and have that meditation. Seeing son, no loud talking, no arguments of any form. Seeing anything you're reasoning about must be complimentary, must be uplifting.
Priest Duggan, let me tell it, as a mother with how much children have to deal with on the Sabbath day, they always feel good when the Sabbath day is over, because of the quietness them and the restriction of them, certain things that they couldn't do on the Sabbath. So, when the Sabbath is over and the anthem is sing, and they get the freedom, they always feel good. They're always happy.
Let out that energy.
I know that.
Okay, not finished. Even in the service, the children them supposed to have a reverence in the service. It must be like a creech. Where the children them out of thing that them supposed to feel the parents and whether father or mother are supposed to see that the children them have a reverence, build them in that, groom them in that fashion of divine attitude in the service.
Yes, my Lord. So I don't know if there's anything else, that was needed to be said regarding, how to conduct oneself during the Sabbath, before the Sabbath. We'd like to do all of that on the table, and then we'll seal up,
I just want to suggest one thing too. As we build and we, continue to build as a Congress and a church, we need to start to tailor some programs directly for the youth. So if we're going to hold the youth them attention, the youth is the next generation. We have to prepare them. So they need to have their own form of structure, even within the Sabbath. Because whereas them going to come sit down and get bored and sleepy and all of that, there can be organized, programs for them that educate them on their liberty, on the sabbatical liberty, on the liberty in general, but structured for them so they gather in a congregation together and learn these, even if it's once every first Sabbath, every other Sabbath, whatever it is, however we seem to implement it when it works for us. But we have to start tailoring more of our structuring towards the children. We just have them along for the ride. Them just come up in the liberty. But the liberty don't provide nothing for their input and their outlet. And they have their own outlet and they have their own input as well as youth. Because we want them to be bright youth. We don't want dumb down the youth and hold down the youth. We want the youth to shine as bright as him can shine within principle.
Yes, my Lord. That clock, you had something, my Lord?
Honorable, my Lord, powers and strength. Yes, my Lord. Trodden, my Lord, which is, a man is supposed to be trodden, going out and coming in on the Sabbath, my Lord.
Okay.
As a siege and meditation, my Lord. A man is supposed to kill with no fire after a certain time, my Lord, on the Sabbath day. And especially a man, really, my Lord, supposed to see some all work. For it is written now, that man shall not live by bread and water alone, which that is why it come like it is going to let me show you something to eat to drink, but by every word of God. So we just watch the parable and the significance of the Sabbath day. So I just like to bring forth that to the class, my Lord, and I lay more strength in the ceiling up, my Lord, if you ever lay times out of the book of Hebrews chapter 4 now, concerning the Sabbath to my Lord, So I never could get a freedom just to touch something, my Lord.
Go through, God.
My Lord. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Yeah, continue reading from the book of Hebrews chapter 4, my Lord. From verse 1. Let us therefore fear, lest the promise being left us of entering into his rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. So is a blessing, my Lord. And there's a promise, and as I say, it's agreement between you and God. So, we make agreement, and it's a promise with the agreement, my Lord. He said, for unto us, was the gospel preached as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed, the word which King Emmanuel spake then, do enter into rest, as he said, as I have sworn on my wrath, if they shall enter into my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. For he spake in a certain place of the seventh day on this wise, and God did rest the seventh day from all his work. Selah, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. So this verse and chapter actually show you that on this day, the Lord spake on the seventh day, like how they try to contradict, like the Sabbath could be every day. We do live within a sabbatical meditation, but it have a certain day is for that time now. So I just say, I would just like to bring forth that to the class, so the man will lie. So let's see. The whole chapter is to be read, my Lord, for Israel's strength, but I don't want to pick up much time on the air, my Lord, and Empress. Bless you.
Give thanks, God. Give thanks for that input. And, at this time, I think it's a good time to, give it over to the Honorable Empresses to let them share their, what they have to contribute on health. This is a new part of the study group, and it's very important. So I'll turn over the floor.
Okay, blessed love, my Lord and Empress.
Blessed love, Empress Cindy.
Give thanks for another.
Blessed love.
Blessed love. Give thanks for another.
Honorable. Blessed love.
Blessed love. Give thanks for life and give thanks for life.
Yes, I.
Yes. Give thanks for everyone's contribution today. It was a wonderful topic. So give thanks, Ja Daniel and Priest Dougie and all ones and ones who participated. I learned a lot from this topic today, so give thanks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sorry.
So for today's topic, the Empresses, we all came up with the topic today of the liver. So I want to give thanks to Empress Maisie, Empress Rachel, Empress Dion, and to myself for, doing the research and coming up with this topic so we can share with everyone who's here.
Yes, sir.
So
today, YouTube and on the YouTube listeners.
And on the YouTube as well, the family on YouTube, give thanks for listening and for being here with I and I. So, so what is the liver? The human liver is a dark, reddish organ and gland that weighs about 3 pounds. It's located in the upper right-hand portion of the abdominal cavity beneath the diaphragm and on top of the stomach near the right kidney and intestines, and is the second largest organ in the goody. The size varies based on how tall you are and how much you weigh. The liver is an essential organ performing hundreds of functions necessary to sustain life. It is also a gland because it makes proteins and hormones that other parts of the goody needs. What does the liver do? The liver regulates most chemical levels in the blood, and it excretes a product called bile. This helps carry waste product from the liver. All the blood leaving the stomach and intestines passes through the liver. The liver processes this blood, breaks down, balances, and creates the nutrients, and also metabolizes drugs into forms that are easier to use for the rest of the goody or that are non-toxic. When a person has a liver problem, one of the most common symptoms is jaundice.
Which is when your eyes turn yellow.
Correct.
Yes.
And on your fingernail.
Yes, yes. And your urine also yellow.
Right. So with jaundice, the skin and whites of the eyes turn yellow because of too much bilirubin in the blood. Bilirubin is a yellow waste product the liver gets rid of when it breaks down red blood cells. Higher levels of bilirubin indicate a possible problem in the liver. In addition, higher levels of bilirubin can include buildup of fluid in the stomach area, easy bruising, itchy skin, low blood pressure, pain in the abdomen, swelling in the legs and ankles, tremors, or shaking weakness, and loss of balance, and a constant fatigue or loss of orientation. Moving on, there are many types of liver problems, but one of the most common is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which is a buildup of fat in the liver not related to alcohol use. Fatty liver disease doesn't always cause noticeable symptoms, but it can eventually lead to scarring and liver failure. To keep the liver healthy is to avoid toxins such as smoking and illegal drugs. Do not share personal items such as toothbrushes and razors that can cause viruses. If you drink alcohol, and I hope nobody does, only do it in moderation. Maintain a healthy weight and exercise regularly. Practice safe intercourse to avoid hepatitis infection. Wash your hands and eat a healthy, nutritious foods and exercise daily. 7 herbs and foods that can cleanse the liver. The liver has many functions. It removes harmful material from the bloodstream and helps digest food. It works hard performing hundreds of complex functions, including fighting infections and illnesses, removing toxins such as alcohol from the goody, controlling cholesterol levels, helping blood to clot, releasing bile, a liquid that breaks down fats and aids digestion, Many foods that can help cleanse, rejuvenate, and detoxify your liver, and keep it healthy. So we came up with 7. So the top 7 liver cleansing superfoods are beetroot. Beetroot is a powerful food for cleansing and supporting liver functions. It's high in plant flavonoids and beta-carotene. The liver helps to stimulate and improve overall liver functions. Beetroots are natural blood purifiers. So one can simply add fresh beetroot to your juices or your daily food routine. Second is grapefruit. Grapefruit is natural in vitamin C and antioxidants, 2 powerful liver cleansers. Grapefruit contains compounds that boost the production of liver detoxification and enzymes. It also contains flavonoid compounds known as narragine that causes the liver to burn fat rather than to store it. So our advice is to drink a small glass of freshly squeezed grape juice or full joy the whole fruit with your breakfast daily. Green tea is number 3. By drinking green tea daily, you can help your goody flush out toxins and fat deposits while increasing hydration levels. The antioxidants found in green tea have also been found to assist liver functions and protect the liver from the damaging effects of toxic substances such as alcohol. Green tea is also beneficial in treating or preventing liver disease. Number 4 is turmeric. Turmeric is one of the most powerful foods for maintaining a healthy liver. It has been shown to actively protect the liver against toxic damage, and even regenerate damaged liver cells. It also boosts the natural production of bile, shrinks and engorge hepatic ducts, and improve overall function of the gallbladder, another body purifying organ. So one can mix half a teaspoon of turmeric powder in a glass of water and boil it, and then add a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper to drink daily. You can drink it twice daily for a couple of weeks. Also include turmeric in your daily cooking. Number 5 is leafy green vegetables, one of our most powerful allies in cleansing the liver. Leafy green vegetables can be eaten raw, cooked, or juiced. Extremely high in chlorophyll. Greens soak up environmental toxins from the bloodstream with their distinct ability to neutralize heavy metals, chemicals, and pesticides. These cleansing foods offer a powerful protective mechanism for the liver. Incorporating greens such as bitter gourd, arugula, dandelion green, spinach, mustard green, and chicory into your cooking habits. Number 6 is avocados. They are a superfood for the liver. They contain glutathione as well as vitamin C and E, which acts as antioxidants to neutralize free radicals and protect the liver cells from damage. Vitamins E and K in avocados act as anti-inflammatory to protect the liver from harmful inflammation. Number 7 is garlic, rich in allicin and selenium, 2 powerhouse nutrients for the liver. They act in cleansing and nourishing the entire goody, especially the blood. Selenium is a naturally detoxifying mineral, and allicin helps ward off immune system invaders, which help lighten the load on your liver. Garlic also activates enzymes in the liver, which help with overall digestion and flushing out toxins. You can eat 2 to 3 raw garlic cloves daily and include garlic in your cooking whenever possible. You can you can also cube the garlic or take it with water, but you wouldn't want to crush it up because chewing it can cause blisters in your mouth. Okay, so that was all 7 foods. So the herbs that we came up with to assist cleansing and detoxifying of the liver are black cohosh, golden seal, holy thistle, also known as blessed thistle, milk thistle, which has been used for over 2,000 years to treat bile duct and liver conditions and has liver protective properties. Also, we have parsley, fennel, aloes, dandelion, chicory, goji berries, rose hips. You could also mix ginger with lemon in a drink and drink it like that. Burdock root is another herb for detox and liver cleansing. It is considered a blood purifier and a liver cleanser, and also helps with lymphatic congestions by stimulating lymphatic drainage. Burdock root also helps liver function and elimination. And also my last suggestion would be to drink water. Give much thanks.
Yes, I give thanks to the empresses for working together and bringing forth that information. Very
give thanks, my honorables. Give thanks for such finding. Give thanks for the empress, of the study group. We are working, and I do hope and pray that ones and ones will hear what the sisters say of the finding about the liver, and take heed, and take care of the liver. Very, very important organ in your structure. So give thanks, Mama, and give thanks, beloved sisters. Yeah, glorify. Thanks to the study group. Give thanks to that Daniel, that you make this possible through the Africa Liberations study group, my Lord.
Yes, did anyone have any questions or comments on the liver before we move on? All right. Well, if not,
no one? No, well, I'm pretty. None of my brothers didn't have nothing to say. They're all good.
I mean, I was following closely. It was very good information. I'm going to definitely, and pay attention to the herbs and foods that are mostly foods that I use, and try to make sure that I do something for my liver every week, and probably on like a regular routine of like a liver cleanse or something like that going forward. So I give thanks. I'm going to write that list of stuff down.
Thanks.
Yeah.
My Lord.
Yes, my Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pardon me, my Lord.
Yes, I.
Yeah, give thanks for bringing forth to the world and preserve such information. Give thanks, give thanks, It was mighty, Give thanks for such, sharing and caring, for one another to still bring forth that part, to show, to take care and check out myself and thing, To give thanks for the mighty works of the empresses, from the eye, love, love, love. Bless it.
Give thanks.
Blessed love, give thanks, my Lord and Empress.
Give thanks, sis.
Yes, I. So, well, and then, we close up. If anyone has any words on the topic of the Sabbath, and then, closing remarks, summarizing, what they learned, or anything, to seal up the reasoning, now is the time, and then we'll just close it out of the way. I would say, I give thanks for everyone's contribution. All of it was very relevant. I learned a lot through the conversation, and hopefully, those who watch on YouTube will also be able to learn a lot about the Sabbath day, why we keep it, what benefits it has to us, and even to understand what to do during the Sabbath, before the Sabbath, what not to do during the Sabbath. All of that stuff should be helping people to build themselves, because as this is the foundation principle of the association, it's very important for us to understand, why we do what we do, how to do it, and also the benefits that it should give us, the behavior that we keep on the Sabbath. When we say every day shall be a Sabbath, the way we behave on the Sabbath day should be the way that we behave every other day, except for the work part. Of course, we wouldn't stop working. But as far as, not yelling, not being rude, certain, the goodness of the behavior, the fellowship on the Sabbath day should carry through the rest of the strong, so that we are always in that, that mental state of being at one with ourselves, with God and ourselves, and with God and each other, to have that Holy Communion continuing beyond the one day period. I think that ultimately that would be the best impact that the Sabbath could have on humans, is that we can, translate that holiness into an everyday holiness, so that life is just holy, and we, get along with each other and have a better quality of life because of the way we treat each other, and. So yes, that's my words on the Sabbath still. And the floor is open for anyone else if they have something they want to say before we close.
May I say something, Jordaniel?
Of course, yes,
I just find that Sabbath day being the seventh day of the strong is just a powerful angel number, and it's spiritual. It symbolizes so much to I and I, as a people, as a Congress and stuff like that. And I just, I just think that acknowledging and keeping that day holy it does so much for I and I, because it fosters our inner wisdom, our self-awareness, and the number 7 is such a mystic number, and I find that day, it blends our spirituality with our practicality. And I truly appreciate love that day immensely, and it makes me, more aware of myself and what do I need to do to become a better person every day. Give thanks.
Yes, I glorify and bless and give thanks for sharing. Brother Joseph, my Lord.
Blessed Majesty, yes, my Lord and Empress. Just wanted to give thanks for this reasoning, my Lord, for this study group session was very helpful, my Lord, to hear. Well, my Lord, to be able to hear the testimonies of the elders, my Lord, in such a good, having such a good conversation about something so important as the Sabbath day, my Lord. Give thanks for such, motivation. The Sabbath day is, yes, my Lord, in my experience, my personal experience is been my foundation to, keep myself strong in the other same way, because we know still that the priest was saying it is just natural that we can at a time go to the tabernacle and keep praises, strength the other, but same way it's how I give a blessing to everyone wherever we are, so like in my experience, when I was when I first learned about Bobo Shanti and the Sabbath day, it was like my little school, because I had no one to gather with, but I knew that the Sabbath day was holy. So I would just, learn a lot of things, because our Father has a lot of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom to share with us. So I always felt this day was like a special, like the Father would, through meditation, share some wisdom with. And I same way, like, I think that by keeping Sabbath, and the Bible and in book way is also the reason why I learned like English, speaking English and all of this, because, Spanish is like the language I grew up speaking, but keeping the Sabbath, reading the Bible, learning the creed, learning some hymns and chorus. These days are very strengthful for I and I. So yes, give thanks for such reasoning that went through today. I give thanks for the contribution, and for this reasoning being so powerful, gathering the voices of many priests and elders, empresses, who were there with Christ and who learned this tradition from Christ. So give thanks for sharing such wisdom and knowledge and understanding, my Lord and Empress. Give thanks. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Prophet Joseph, my Lord.
Can I say something, Jadaniel? My closing remarks.
Of course.
Yes, my Lord and Empress, it was a blessing today. Even to hear, our brothers, priests from the foundation, the EABIC, it was a uplifting to hear them, sharing with the study group family, and YouTube and thing. I give thanks to all what's said and done today. As Joseph said, it is a blessing. And for me, it is a blessing. So more respect. I also give thanks, for my sisters them and the finding, about the liver today. Give thanks, Empress, is well edifying. And now we must just follow that now and take care of our parts, Yeah, my Lord, all blessing to one and all. Give thanks to the elders, them sharing. Give thanks to the young ones, them sharing. And give thanks. And we can't stop saying, give thanks to Jah Rastafari, who make it possible, Yeah, through Emmanuel, God with us, King Adore, our Heavenly Father, Most High, Selassie, Jah Rastafari.
Rastafari.
I pray
Blessed love,
the
my family.
Ja Daniel.
Yes, I.
There was a comment made on YouTube where a sister wanted me to repeat the 7 cleansing superfoods. So may I?
Yes, beloved.
She asked me. Yes, you may.
Okay.
sorry, oh.
Rastafari.
Okay, the first one is beetroot. Number 2 is grapefruit. Number 3 is green tea. Number 4 is turmeric. Number 5 is leafy green vegetables, such as arugula, dandelion, spinach, mustard greens, and chicory. And there's one called bitter gourd. Number 6 would be avocados. And number 7 would be garlic. Give thanks. Yeah.
Yes, Empress. Give thanks again for sharing. Hopefully the one watching on YouTube got the clearance. But anyway, anyone who didn't get it that time, the video will always be on YouTube until YouTube decides to take it off. So you can always, play back the video and find it again still. And the 7 herbs as well is in there. But give thanks, Empress Cindy, for sharing it again. If no one else had any closing remarks, then we'll just seal up. Give a moment still. All right, Jack Carlton, my Lord, you can unmute.
Empress, give thanks for such a reasoning. Give thanks for the empresses, coming forward with the presentation, about the liver. As we say, the Sabbath give us life, So liver, have the word live in it still, It is, it's been explained, all the functions of it, and give thanks for the 7, part of the 7 superfoods, and recapping it also. Give thanks. I'm keeping, intact with that also. Give thanks for Bobo Hill and those from Bobo Hill who come and represent today. It's a long time we want to hear the item, whoever can come and, represent the foundation at any time is a great thing and a joy to, see that representation, So give thanks again, my Lord. Priest Chris. Edley is there also.
Priest Edley. Priest Chewy.
Prophet, priest, and king. Holy Manuel I, Selassie, Jah,
Yeah.
Rastafari. Give thanks for the Sabbath reasoning. Yeah, I find it was well balanced. Yes, going forward, just a last point I did, I never heard mention in terms of the timing, when the Sabbath was changed also to the Sunday when Babylon, they changed it. They also changed the course of the days, the timing of the hours of the days, gone from, it was a sunset to sunset principle. Sabbath. And when those changes come into play, it came to a 12 o'clock start. People sleeping in their bed when the day starts, you know. So give thanks for King Emmanuel come back with the 8. That's how we know it's the right thing. Is the real ancient order. Because you could go back in history, in Babylonian history, and find out that so they did used to keep things also. You know, they did acknowledge the Sabbath, and they did acknowledge even the time in that when it was sunset, it was the beginning of another day. Because even scientifically it was dark. God said, let there be light. You know, for you to produce light, there must have been dark first. And you know, that's how days were kept. You know, whenever the sun went down was the beginning of another day. So we give thanks for Josh showing us them ancient principles, even within the Sabbath now, that we can't forget that we keep it from sunset to sunset, even though we have a standardized time of 6 o'clock through a worldwide thing. It represents the sundown time, and just for the information of viewers, for viewers to know that's the reason why we keep the 6 o'clock principle. That's why the Sabbath runs over 2 days, you know, as opposed to the way Babylon keeps their days of 12 midnight is the start of the day. Then Empress, give thanks for all information, all history, you know, all personal opinions and views. Rest of the strong, one and all.
My Lord, glorify you. Thanks, Jack Carlton, for that added information there. And, you know, I think that's it. You know, we can go ahead and close the reasoning. Give thanks for everyone's contribution. It was a well-rounded reasoning today. We heard from a lot of different age groups and perspectives, and yeah, it was good. Give thanks to people for contributing. Honorable Priest Dougie, you know, and I call for reverence internationally as, you know, the priest say a prayer to close the program.
Glory be unto our Father, unto his Son, unto the Holy One of creation. As Jah was in the beginning, is now, and never shall be, his world without end. So we allow our God, Haile Selassie the first. Jehovah God, Jah Rastafari, great and terrible God, Jah Rastafari is the Almighty God. Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie.
Jah
Rastafari. We ask thee for thy guidance going and coming, you know. We ask thee for thy guidance throughout the next, you know, 6 days unto our holy Sabbath. You know, we ask thee to bless everyone, keep everyone in health and strength, you know, to fill us with thy wisdom, thy knowledge and understanding, that I and I may ever do thy will. This we ask through thy mercy and thy love, most high Jehovah. Jah Rastafari. Blessings.
My Lord. Yes, family, this is the African Liberation Network, Bobo Shanti International Study Group. I'm the host, Prophet Daniel, and we are the International Study Group. Give thanks again, Royal Family, for our contribution and our viewers. Yes, and, you know, guidance and protection going out and coming in this time, henceforth and forevermore. Jah Rastafari. Bless your little family.
My Lord, honorable, heart of love, my Lord. Powers.
Yeah, my Lord, give thanks.